Hey everybody, happy Monday. Hey, would you just say to me, good morning? Good morning. It's going pretty well. I am feeling good, and we have 2 weeks until next fest. There's been pretty good feedback. I guess I'll share some quick updates here. The Idler Fest is going to end in a little less than 2 hours, but it doesn't really matter. I think anyone who wanted to participate in Idle Fest has already done it, and the last 2 hours is probably not going to change much. Plus, at least in the US right now, it's somewhere between like 8 and 11 a.m. Hey Kevin, and thanks for the resub. Happy half a year. Uh yeah, so I don't think there's going to be more traffic. Yesterday, it's very bizarre. We got plus zero wish lists. And the day before, I think we hit a record of like plus 110 or something like that. So I don't know what like I said, I think traffic just kind of dropped off, and probably for the festival mostly. But we are now sitting at 1,020 wish lists, so it's the first time we've been above 1,000 that I've streamed. I mean, hey Chef Alton, hey Zanis. Am I paying Kevin for early notifications for first so that he can claim it? I won't tell you how money's changing hands there. Okay, yeah. So what we're gonna start with today is tenants. We gotta move this stuff all off the list, or at least off the weekend list because it's no longer the weekend. Yeah. I was like, what, a Sunday stream? Hey, Dark. Hey, Leftist. Pretty sure last week was 26 months. I might have been. I don't remember how they do resub notifications. Either way, thank you. Yeah, there was when you resub, there's some amount of time where you can then advertise it, and I don't think it would be the whole month, but maybe there's like 3 weeks or something. Tenants, let's go start those. Today, tenant review. All right, sustainability. Still seems to be going well. I didn't really work in the evenings. This weekend, I only really did technical stuff on Saturday and did some music stuff after that throughout the weekend. Bricklaying, I say this is 80% good. Got a little bit down about what were we doing? What were we doing? Oh yeah, the icon button stuff. But we still made it through. Brakes. This isn't a concern for me. It's really just to avoid burnout. I think it's mostly on my radar. And the successes thing, I think I'm going to drop this. I think things have been going well. Yeah, maybe I'll just say talk about this and don't write it down. This is just here to talk about, not write down. Yeah. So let's think. Successes from last week. Idler Fest was going on, and we got a lot more wish lists through that. I can show the graph, and we can see how much we actually got through the festival. 1 week. So in 1 week time, we got 392 wish lists. I think that's correct. I mean, obviously the data's not going to lie. I just don't know. Does that mean exactly for Idler Fest, or is it off by 1 day? But anyway, yeah, you can see change versus previous period. It was a huge bump in traffic. Yeah. So yeah. Hey, David. Hey, 3 extended. Great to see my Berlin hotel evening program getting online. How you been? Wait till I start streaming in German. I've been doing well. I am prepping for the next festival, and we are just coming off the back of this festival. Hey, Thomas. And I started working on the next music track for the town. This is still a little rough around the edges. There are a couple things I want to change here, but here's what it sounds like so far. So let me mute my mic and I'll play this. That's all I have so far. It's not going to be much longer, by the way. I'll probably end it somewhere around like here-ish, which is, yeah, minute and 5, minute and 10. And yeah, it'll just be a little palate cleanser track in between the other couple, I guess. And then I got to come up with a fourth. I originally had an idea, and I just don't think it's fitting anymore. So I'll work on that. Hey, retired Android, thank you. Time to add a chart with the daily wish list values and look at the numbers going up. Yeah, it's pretty much just the Steam chart, though. That's why I haven't. I stopped jotting these down in individual lines like I did here. This was so I could track at a quick glance. How did Idler Fest go? And we didn't even have a demo until just the day before Idler Fest. So yeah, at the beginning of the festival, we were like 67 unique lifetime players, and now we have gone up by about 500. These are people who launched the game. So there's been 540 unique players launching the game. Anyway, so we're going to start with one of the issues that has been plaguing people. And let's go figure out where it even exists in GitHub. Maybe if we search for battle. This. Yeah, this. This is what we're going to do. All right, I'll explain this in the context of the game. Add a way to cancel ongoing battles. And that way we can all be on the same page, and then I'll just start working on it. So, I gotta save these music notes somewhere too, because I might work on this stuff in the evening or tomorrow. I'm not sure. That. Tuesday music notes. Okay. Hey, Manic Pine. I think it did okay during Idler Fest. All right, so here is the issue that we have. Let's say you have, how do I cheat in just like 2 adventurers? How about we just have 1? All right, oh, let me turn that down. Okay, so you got an adventurer, you're fighting over here. Actually, you know what? Let's also enable auto battle. Okay, you got an adventurer, you're fighting in the, ooh, wait a sec. This is smaller than it used to be, right? I think something is wrong here, maybe. Let me write this down really fast. I think max size container may have changed the layout of the battle map. Or maybe it was changing the scale. Anyway, regardless, we start a battle there and we start a battle here. So we got these 2 running, and this is working as intended. And if you win a battle, they'll just go right back into a battle. And then what most people think is, okay, now I want to start a battle with both of them over here. And they click the location, they set this up, and yet start is disabled. And the only way to fix this at this point is to click out of here and then cancel auto battle on these things and then go back into this. And in this case, it's like the mage is still fighting, so we need to wait for that. And then once that battle's done, now this button will enable itself. So there we go. Yeah, so now it's enabled. So there are 2 problems. 1, you can't fix the issue with auto battle being enabled here. And 2, you have to wait, even if there were no problem, I guess. You have to wait for the battle end. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to make it so that even if these characters are auto battling and you go into here, you can still click start battle and it'll just flee both of these battles. Now what this might lead to is a new problem where people are like, wait, why'd they stop battling here? Now granted, you would see them battling in a 3rd window. So hopefully you'd answer your own question, I guess. We could also just close these windows entirely. In fact, maybe that's the best idea, is just close them entirely. That way you're not like, oh, yeah, these are still around. I kind of like that idea. Maybe always close the ongoing battles rather than just canceling them. That way you have less window management to do. Yeah. What was that, retired Android? And those 1020? Max size container is something that Kevin coded, where you set a maximum container size and then it'll make sure that whatever's inside of it won't go beyond that size. So we did this for, hang on a second, let me see if this actually, I think something is wrong here. Yeah, anyway, this panel follows a max size. So it can shrink below this. Okay, no, something's up, and it might be a change that I made. I'm gonna revert all of this, and we're just gonna rerun this. Because everything had looked good when I merged it, but then I started doing changes to game scale stuff. I don't know if that. Yeah, now this is the right size. Changing the start button color or tooltip may also be worth it. Yeah, a lot of people, I've been watching videos, and a lot of people naturally go down to upgrade portal, and they're like, wait, that's not what I want. Yeah, so this shows off the max size container. You can see here it's increasing in size, but then only to a certain limit, and then it doesn't increase anymore. So that's what our max size container lets us do. All right, so what do we have here? Detect that they're in this situation, pop up a dialog when they're in this situation. By the time they click confirm, the situation may have changed. It's possible that we need to close a battle window for this to work. So it'll allow us to get rid of these error messages. Oh man, okay, so there are two major things here. Questions ahead of time. Do we want a confirmation message for this? Hey, Magma Salad. So let's say I should really just save a file here so I don't need to keep doing this stuff. Okay, let's say you're in a battle and you try starting a new one. Should this just be enabled and you click it and it closes windows for you? Or should it be enabled and you click it and it says like, hey, you already have battles running. Do you want us to close them for you? I don't think battles are ever that important individually where we even need to ask for confirmation. I think we can just automatically close this stuff. No, unfortunately, it's not a new thing in Gato. So wait, what people want is to be able to use the already battling adventures, maybe add a button to remove all ongoing battles. Yeah, that's pretty much what they want. But I think removing all the battles is not necessarily what they want. Like a lot of times, there are a couple problems going on here. One, I only just added in an explicit edit button. This was always possible, but you had to click the party and no one actually noticed that. Or well, very few people noticed that. So instead, now there's an edit button here. So when you do have a party that you want to go to a different location, then you could edit it. However, even with this there, I saw someone playing and they still would go over to here because this is like the start of battle flow. So they don't think, oh, my adventure's already in a battle. They just think, oh, I want to start a new one. And if this character were auto battling to just end maybe that battle. But yeah, that is another way we could do things. I think, like I said, I think battles don't matter so much such that we can just close them anyway. So yeah, question. How do we go about having the user close battle windows? Option one would be always have start battle enabled, and clicking it will automatically close windows as needed. Two, always have start battle enabled, and clicking it will pop up a confirmation asking about closing windows. Three is when start battle is disabled, show a clear battle windows button that the user could click to free up space. I think I'm leaning toward just number one here. Yeah, Dina, welcome back. I think your intuition is right. I think players want to start a battle in a new location, regardless of whether adventurers are currently in another one. Yeah. Well, and the only time it might matter if battles last like 30 seconds, let's say, and they're 28 seconds into a battle, then maybe they wouldn't have wanted it to close. But if they know that, they could just wait. And if they don't know that, then they wouldn't care that they were even in this situation. Hey, Nuka. And yeah, the weekend was good. Hope it was for you too. And Idler Fest was a nice Nice little bump to traffic. So we're now sitting at 1,020 wish lists. And with Next Fest coming up, maybe we can aim to get like more than 1,000 more wish lists. That would be pretty good. And even then, people say like by the time you launch your game, you should have tens of thousands of wish lists. Like, I don't know where we're gonna get those other 38,000. Hey Dan. Yeah, okay. I think I'm gonna go with number one. And I'll write this down. Uh option one is the easiest for the player. And is actually pretty easy for us too. If people seem frustrated by this, then perhaps we could do something with the specific feedback. I think it'll be fine. Also, no individual battle really matters all that much. Number for 7,000. Obviously, the more the better. Actually, you know what I did not just check? Let me do this really fast. I don't want to just keep focusing on this number, but Botland was listed as being, how do I even do this? Here? Where's the, hang on a second. where do I find all of the games? Ah, here we go. Yeah. So my head is covering a little bit of this, but it says the Steam average, Botland is above that with an 1,370 wish list, and Skeleseller is below it at 1020. So we know the average has to be between 1020 and 1370. So that means that Skeleseller is pretty soon going to say that it's above the Steam average. I'm also kind of impressed that the Steam average is, it seems kind of high, right? If like 1,200 wish lists is the average. Oh, I guess though average would be considering games like Pal World, which probably had, you know, 1,000,000 wish lists or something. Yeah, so never mind. Maybe it's not. I guess median is what I was thinking about. Reuse the adventures in a new battle, and if they're already in a battle, that window is queued for closing when finished, so it automatically closes and frees up the adventures. I don't like the idea of queuing for the same reason I don't like it for what we were doing for the Enchanter. We need to communicate so much more when it comes to queuing a battle. So imagine this, we have like 3 battle windows, and now you have a queued battle. Like, where does that show? How do you cancel it? What happens if you try queuing another one with the same adventurers? There's a lot of stuff that would just not be clear. And the purpose is just to let one battle continue for longer, or maybe 3 battles. Yeah, I don't think we should do that. What's the typical flow for releasing a game? Do the dev, release a demo, try to get eyes on it, profit? I think the typical flow for releasing a game is some amount of like develop, get feedback, iterate on that for a while, and then eventually, you know, polish and release. Very high level flow of this stuff. How you get feedback doesn't have to be with a demo for the public. It could be through closed betas. It could be through just, I don't know, testing things out with your friends or something. In general, I think that not releasing a public demo would be a mistake, because nowadays there are just so many configurations. Even if you only launch for Windows PCs, there are already so many configurations there between monitor size and graphics cards and computer performance and just weird accessibility things you never thought of, that not getting feedback on that I think would probably be a mistake. But then also, it's not even just accessibility stuff, it's like the gameplay itself. What happens if people get to a certain level and they can't progress? What happens if they're stuck in the terrain or something like that? And by the way, part of this could come from QA. Some game companies have QA departments and they're constantly testing the game. I think it's hard for QA to test for fun after a while, because they've played the game so much that it's hard for them to see it from new eyes. But it's easy for them to test for bugs because that's their job. We were in the get feedback part of the loop, I think. Yeah, and I don't think you can ever do this on like one iteration. I don't think you're going to develop the perfect game, get feedback that is perfect, and then launch the game. That's pretty much never going to happen. You're going to get feedback saying like, okay, here's what I'd like to improve. Here's a bug I found. You're going to develop it some more. You're going to get more feedback. Okay, that bug's fixed, but now there's a new bug, et cetera, et cetera. But I think participating in game jams is great because it gives you view into that and how you want to work with it, that entire process. And it's on a much smaller scale. Okay, so we're gonna always close this. Always close ongoing battles rather than just canceling them. Oh wait, oh, this is technically different. Yeah, I guess there's another question I have here. Yeah, I'm too. And hey, who cares? Happy quarter of a year. Thanks for the resub. The group wants to jump right to releasing to Steam, and I'm pushing back on wanting to build our audience a bit first. I mean, depending on what you think the chance of success of the game is, it could kind of go either way. Some people just want a game on Steam that they can point to. Maybe they iterate after that. I think if you're aiming for like, let's say more than $50,000, it's probably worth having a plan you all agree on. But if it's like, oh, hey, maybe this game makes $100 or something, I don't think it matters too much. What's next after the demo? Checkpoint 6 release. There's so much work still to do. Yeah, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do Next Fest and then probably checkpoints with new features that we want to test out. And then eventually a beta / early access. And then launch, of course. Want to see the mini mat? They were posted last night. Sure. Yeah. Hey, Chris. I'm not sure what mini mat is, but I'm guessing it's the train. Okay, I guess there is one more question here. Question, should we close windows or just cancel their battles? I'm leaning toward closing windows so that the player doesn't have to manage those. Yeah. Oh, I see. Mini Matt actually is Mini Matt. Wow. I'm guessing you did this from loading a picture? Because I was going to say, doing things like the wrinkles in the shirt would be really, really tough if you were modeling those individually. Yeah, I thought it was the name of a train. I was expecting to see a train. All right, so no confirmation message. So here's what I think the conclusions are. It's close any windows with battlers that need to be involved. And don't ask for confirmation. And then the last thing is a very difficult question. So let's say you have 3 battle windows open and you try starting a new battle. How do we pick which window to close? Because we've got to pick one of them. It could either be the newest one to have opened, a random one, the third one, the rightmost one, I guess I should say. I think I want to pick this. Yeah, I think I want to pick this. I got scanned at the train show. Uploading DNA. They tell you, here's your 3D printed figurine. Meanwhile, they're cloning you. Yeah, I think I'll just pick the rightmost one for now. When you have 3 windows open and no obvious one to close, just pick the rightmost one. All right. Okay, so yeah, let's go get to this. Close any that have selected adventures, then choose some other way. Yeah, but there are a bunch of like weird scenarios. I don't know if they're even worth dipping into. Like you have battle window A that has the rogue, the mage, the witch doctor, the paladin. Then battle window B has like this, but maybe the archer instead. And then C has the cleric. And now you start a new party with, I don't know, like rogue plus archer plus cleric. It's like, it's just gonna look random anyway, right? We might as well just always pick the last one. I don't really think this strategy matters too much, how we pick the window. I close all of them in that case. But they might all be running. Actually, okay, I see what you're saying. This might be like finished, no auto battle on. So there's no need for this to be closed. And yeah, they might all be in that state actually. Actually, in fact, that's the situation I'm talking about, is that none of them have a none of them have auto battling on such that you, yeah, that you couldn't start the battle. Probably add a small note about this closing ongoing battles. I think people will realize that, because the other thing is I've now seen enough people play where it's like they're not even really reading what's going on here. So many people try starting a battle at this after already winning it, and they click this and they're like, why can't I start this? And it says right in this tooltip why they can't start it, but they don't tend to read that. So I don't think they're going to see something about closing windows, and if they do, I think it'll just be obvious that their window got closed. Yeah, players don't read. But they have the rogue and you're starting a new one with it, so they all need to stop. Yeah, but what I'm saying is there's no stopping because they're already stopped. So the situation I'm talking about is this situation. So here we have 3 battle. No, that actually had auto battle on. Okay, so the rogue is free, but they happen to show up on all 3 of these windows. Like, which one of these would be closed when you want to start a new battle right now? And they all involve the rogue, but all of them actually could be just reused. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna pick the rightmost one, and we'll just do that. You'd still close all of them. Okay, well, what if instead of the rogue, you were trying to start a battle with the mage? So I click this and I click warrior or something like that, and it hits start battle. You'd still close all 3 of these? Because I oh, I guess we can't always start with the rightmost one, because then you might click this again. Okay, never mind. I guess we do need to pick the oldest one. With the lowest ID. Yeah. Chatter's asking about something in the title. Yeah. Hey, Cosmic Revolution. Okay. I'm happy with this. I think this is good. I think we need to go figure this out now. So first of all, this is where all the errors come from, and this is what sets the start button state. So what we're going to do here is pick a scenario. Let's pick the one where the party is not free. So can all adventurers start battle? We're going to assume this is always true. So yeah, this is always going to be true. And then anything else that starts from that? Yeah, that's it. So now when you click the start button, we might realize that you can't actually start it. So that's what I'm going to do next. Hey, the Dave, are you really use AI against scammers? Yes, I am really use AI against scammers. So where to start battle button? Rast calls into this. This needs to be reloaded. It's got to be reloaded a second time to get the vivid theme. Does it work? Yes. So this calls into on shows instance party over here. And then we call walk the portal to start battle. Okay, this doesn't seem too bad. So this is if it's null. We need to know also that the adventurers aren't being used. Got to do that. Trying to add this sentence to class custom locations. It's not a member of SDK UPal location manager. What Cosmic Revolution? All right, so we got to do 2 things here. To do, well, in this case, if it's null, create this, and if it's null, yeah, so this means that all the windows were taken, which we probably can't have happen. Create instance slot. Yeah, this just always needs to work. Magnetic bind, I believe the correct response was monk ass. Cosmic Revolution, are you looking for coding help? Because I would say probably post that on Discord. All right. So I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I sometimes don't know what to say to this because I've seen people come in and like Twitch now tags your messages sometimes with first time chat, and you had I think 5 chat messages before this, so it didn't tag your message. But sometimes I see first time chat like I have problem X, how do I solve it? And it's like there's not even a hello, there's not like a hey, I was hoping you could help me with this because I see that you're coding. It's just like I'm on the internet, so I'm now tech support for people. And I don't mind helping people. I do sometimes just answer these questions, but um, it is a little weird to see a message that's like, "Hey, I'm trying to fix this," and then all of your code. Yeah, I hey X Satered. Struggling for 2 days, figure out how to talk. No, it's fine. Like I said, post it on Discord, and if I have time later, I can take a look at it. It's just I don't know how this expectation came about exactly. It's not just you. It's I'm not explicitly trying to call you out. Yeah, I just it's funny. Okay, so if any adventurers are in battle, we need to get rid of their battles basically. So to do end their battle, close their window, and make sure the adventurer is free. Okay, so let's start with that. The whole they're in battle. We have a way of ejecting any of the new adventurers from battle, but we want to eject the old one from battle. We want to stop it altogether. In fact, I think that closing the instance slot will do that for us. There's a clear function here. What does this do? Instance.queueFree and battlescreen.queueFree. Walk into portal.queueFree and then free all adventurers from battle. And this happens immediately. So we need to do this on the instance slot. Okay, let's figure this out. I don't think this will be the I don't think this will be a lot of code. I do think it's going to be a little bit difficult to figure this out. So in this case, we know they're in battle. So what we can do is we can get their instance slot or something. What did I call this? What did I call this? Oh man, I have no idea. Could have sworn I just added this though. Drat. I put it somewhere. Um, this right there, adventure. Oh, it's an adventurer, not adventurer component. The slot ID of the instance of this adventurer is in. This is only set when the adventurer is in the battle lobby, meaning they're auto battling. I think it should also be set when they're just regular battling now. Huh. No, maybe this is a mistake no matter what. We need to know what window they're associated with, even if they're just walking to a portal. Wait, let me think about that. You have them walking to a portal. They haven't made it to the battle. We need to know they're associated with that window so we can know to close them. Yeah, I think this is a mistake. I think what we need to do is we need to change this to be just whatever slot they're in always. And then whatever's currently using this needs to know that they're auto battling. And I think there's only one user of this. And it's here. Okay, so that's the first thing I gotta do. Hey, helpless hero. All right, so change this to be set whenever an adventurer is associated with a window, even if there's no. Oh, they can't do that though, because they could be associated with many windows. Oh man. Problem. Maybe this is not a smart thing to do. Maybe we should do it the other way around then. Maybe adventure component on instance slot ID seems like a bad idea. we should instead, because there's only one component, but an adventurer can be in many windows. Instead, we should rely on the instance slot to know which adventurers are in it. And we have that information, I'm pretty sure. Didn't I do this? Instance stop adventures to do battle next. Oh man. Okay, well, it either comes from the party in transit or it comes from this. Yeah. And party in transit presumably has some way of getting the adventurers. It does, although currently it's private, but that's okay. Yeah, so instance slot can either pull from party in transit, or if they're not in transit, this. If, yeah. And one of those two things has to be the case. Yeah, it does. Okay, so let's go get that. Public, what is this thing? It's an iRead-only list. Public iRead-only list adventurer. Adventurers in this slot. I mean, it's kind of just needs to be titled adventurers. Okay. We could make this get adventurers. So this otherwise walking to portals adventurers, which isn't public. Otherwise nothing, which I think is impossible. One of these two things has to be true. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think this is fine. This is actually party in transit, though. Party in transit. All right, so now we make this public. Adventurers. Get private set. Hey, Chippy. Okay, that looks good. This needs to be moved. And now we could do this over here. So the adventurer, oh no, we can't. Yeah, we need to go through any battle that they're in and close that window. Go through all instance slots that they're in and close those slots. Oh man. So we have a function to do this. It gets the slot, it clears the slot, frees it, and then does that just fix this automatically? Get instance slot first or default. And it checks to see which slot matches the ID that was passed in. This can happen twice then, that's not good. Hmm. I guess calling clear on something multiple times doesn't hurt. Yeah, it doesn't hurt to call clear multiple times. It doesn't hurt to call queue free multiple times. So I think we would be okay here. Yeah. All right. We're getting there. So how about we make a function like close all slots containing adventurer? Adventurer. Then make this function. Put it at the bottom of the class. All right, actually the AI should be able to fill this in. Get all instance slots. If the instance slot dot adventurers dot contains that adventurer, then close it. Yeah, easy. Maybe you should test it with us. Oh, I will eventually. I will. I'll probably push a new version by the end of today. These are the kinds of things that hopefully I've got pretty high confidence on before I push that version. Historically, this has been tricky, the way that battles work, because of how much it's evolved since the beginning. Originally, actually, I don't even remember how this worked originally, but it was like you would start a battle and then you would immediately be in the battle. And then we made it so like this was state number 1. State number 2 was like we added auto battle. And then state number 3 was like we added walking to the portal. Then state number 4 was something where it was like I don't remember. We allowed for setting auto battle at any time. Anyway, there were a lot of like ways that this evolved where if we just knew them all right from the beginning, it would have been a lot easier to code. But because we already had something that worked, and then we're like, oh, now this should be asynchronous, and now we should be able to do this at any given point. Evangelist, Dabu, and Cube Miser, welcome in. So now we're changing yet another thing, which is like battles can be closed automatically. And yeah, hopefully this works. So end their battle, close their window. So then this might work, but then we're going to try to make a new instance and it's going to say that we don't have the space. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. Rat. How do we know? Okay, I have an idea. Get instance slots. This is going to be dot where, and we're going to do I not I dot queued for deletion. There. So now we're only going to get slots that haven't already been closed, which will allow us to make a new one when we go close 3 of them without us thinking, oh, we're just stuck at an impossibly high number. So now this error should never exist. This should be done automatically, I hope, but we never had a way of closing a battle without fleeing it first. I wonder what that's going to do. Figure out if we need to end the battle first. We've never had a way to close without fleeing first. Yeah. Hey, Scoreline, it's going well. I'm starting with a sort of difficult problem, and then maybe we'll get to some easier stuff later. Keyboard name, it's a corn keyboard. I try to have a bunch of commands in the chat, so anything you're curious about, probably there's a command for it. And if you don't want to just type random stuff, you can type it into this box. So yeah, there's a keyboard there, the mouse I use, there's just specs of everything on my computer. There's lots of stuff there. But I really like this keyboard. So yeah, how do we end the battle? What happens when you flee? Flee button. What does this do? Calls flee battle. Battle stage ended. Is this important? I don't even know. Is there anything we need to like clean up or anything? So we'll know that you fled the battle. She's going to set some states, set some stats. This stats might matter. And then there's this, which is seemingly important. What does this do? Oh, revive battlers and stuff? Yeah, this is really important. Okay, so we need to flee the battle first. So this isn't just close instance slot. This is like if the battle was ongoing, we need to end that battle. Yeah, how do we do that? Instance isn't told that it needs to stop ongoing battle. or force stop, I guess. Yeah, that'll work. So we need to know whether the battle has ended. Battle system. Yeah, just call into that. That's fine. Hey, Shane. Shane, thanks for the email about the issue. Admittedly, it was a known issue, but it's still good to have more reports on it. The only way that we can like cut down on duplicate reports is probably by having a public issue tracker. And even then, I don't want to put too much onus on users to like go through and look at existing bugs. We're not at some like floodgate level of feedback, although maybe Next Fest gets us there. Speaking of feedback, we have been getting a decent amount from Steam, or at least the demo that's on Steam. So we've had 17 responses so far, and the first question is all I plan on showing right now, which is I had fun playing the game. I realized that I forgot to mark this as required. It should have been. So only 16 people responded, but yeah, in general, people are pretty happy with the game so far. Now, granted, that is a little biased because the only way you'd fill out feedback is probably if you had fun for long enough to have continued playing and then gotten a tip to provide feedback. But actually, median playtime is now above an hour, so I think a bunch of people are sticking with the game. I guess there are other biases that come into play, like if you didn't think you'd like the game, you wouldn't have even downloaded it or opened it. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting how that works. What game? Skeleseller. So, force stop ongoing battle. I did not actually make this yet, did I? That's not a thing. I apparently did make it, and I don't remember doing that. Okay, so force stop, there should be a thing for whether this is ended. I think we have that. Has stage ended. There's nothing that marks whether the entire battle has ended. There's just has stage ended. This seems very wrong. Also, this is public. What in the world? No, this is not wrong. How do we know that a battle has ended completely then? Huh. Gonna add a video, then I couldn't figure out how to record a video. Oh no, that's fine. It's totally fine. Also, the feedback tool is coupled with that survey, and yeah, I'm not saying you did anything wrong. I'm just saying if I had a public issue tracker, you would have been able to find out, oh, that was filed, and then save yourself a little bit of time, potentially. Or maybe you would have gotten stuck looking through issues and then it didn't exist and it would cost you extra time. So no, I appreciate it. You did everything you should have done. We do not know that a battle has ended. Yeah, we don't know. We only know that the stage has ended. Public bool has battle ended. Get private set. All right, and how do we know that a battle is fully ended? There should be some function for that. Check for end of battle. Stage ended, battle stage ended. We only know that the stage is ended. Oh, this thing can't even figure it out on its own, can it? The instance figures it out. Does the instance then know about this answer? Calls on battle ended. There is nothing else here, is there? No. Oh, I see. We can check to see if the current stage is equal to the total number of stages. Is that public? Yes. Yeah, okay. So public bool has battle ended is equal to the battle system has the stage ended and the current stage is at the end. All right, that'll do it. So now we can delete the check we have down there. This is the start of transition to the next stage. Otherwise, what? We just return and we know you've lost? That stage ended is true. Huh. Where do we handle losing then? Where do we handle this? Oh, wait, no, yeah, no, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, no, 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 I see, I see. We just drop down into this. Okay. So we call on battle ended completely here. And does something keep track of this thing then? Battle ended. No. That is fine. I guess that's the other way we can know that it ended because the end screen is showing. But this is a slightly better way of doing things, I think. So then let us get rid of that new Boolean that I added somewhere. Has battle ended? That isn't needed. And there was force stop ongoing battle. I don't even think that's needed anymore. I think we can just do this all in here. So if the battle has not ended, then we want to have it say that it fled. So just call flee battle. Easy. And this should always exist, right? Because we don't have an instance unless, yeah. Good. All right, we're getting there. We're definitely getting there. So this calls close instance slot. And now nothing calls force stop ongoing battle. Clear does. Okay. Okay. I think we've accommodated one of the scenarios we need to do. Yeah. This return null can't happen here anymore. All right. This also should be impossible. That you somehow tried creating an instance slot with no adventurers. I mean, I guess it could. I guess it can still push an error, but I don't know how that would be doable. All right, let's try it out. Hoping this works. The only thing we just coded is that now if your adventurers are already in a battle, it will close their window and start a new battle with them. Which actually means that I should probably go code a couple of things really fast. Let's do this. Let's unlock all adventurers. Let's also grant auto battle. So you have auto battle, you have all the adventurers you could ever want. Yeah, let's start that. That'll just save me like 3 or 4 clicks every time I start this up. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. We put the rogue and the warrior into a battle, and then we try starting a battle with the rogue. That did not work. It did not stop them from walking to the portal. Bug starting a new battle when the adventure... Well, actually, I should probably write down exactly what I did. Start auto battle with rogue plus warrior. Before they make it to the portal, start an auto battle with the rogue. Expected, the first window is closed. Actual, both battles start. Yeah, so let's maybe simplify the repro that we have before we try that again. So we're going to start a battle with just the rogue. And then before that finishes, start another battle with the rogue. Yeah, so okay, that scenario is definitely not working. Let's close both of those things. And let's try this again, but actually let it get into the battle. Now when we start a new one with the rogue, it should close the old one. And it did. And if we start a new one with rogue and warrior, the rogue is in the... Nice, okay, yeah. Okay, so that works. So I just didn't accommodate this one thing. And now let's make sure that it actually makes sense. So what are we doing here? We're clearing the slot. Oh, it doesn't know that they can't join? Because it just is in battle, but they're not in battle. I see. Well, I think there's another thing in here is walking a portal. Yeah. And I think there's even another one is in the portal. In any of these cases, what's the last one? Is in battle lobby. I think it's really any of these. We want to close it. What are all of these? This is the in-between state where an adventurer just got done with a battle and is set to auto battle. They won't be in town, but they're not in another battle yet. Okay, cool. This is when an adventurer was in town, walking to the portal, started a battle, and made it to the portal, but they might be waiting for their party members. This is just that they're walking to the portal, and this is that they're in a battle. Yeah. Okay, hey, Brom. And hey, Benny. Okay, so let's test this out. I think we fixed the bug. Man. Yeah. This is going pretty well, by the way. We already got part of the feature working, like probably 40%. And this would bring us up to maybe 60 or 70%, and then we just have a little bit more. So we're going to do that same thing we did before, start an auto battle like that, and then try pulling the rogue into its own battle. Nice, that worked. Now, the next thing I want to do is a little bit harder. We're going to have to slow down adventurers for this because I think it's going to be too much APM otherwise. So where is the speed of the adventurer? It comes from here. All right, nav speed. Well, that's at the walk speed to walk speed divided by 3. So this will give me plenty of time to do the repro I want to do. What I want to do is I want to start a battle with 2 adventurers, and I want one of them to make it to the portal. And then I want to start a battle with the adventurer who's not in the portal. So let's speed this up over here for a little bit and then slow it down. All right, we got to let them separate a little bit, I think. Yeah, let's just let them separate a bit. Okay. Now I need to pick one close to the portal, so the cleric and the warrior. Cleric and warrior. And then we start a new battle with just the warrior. So the cleric is now in the battle. And it ejected the cleric, and now the warrior should go in. Nice. Now if we start one with the warrior and the cleric again, the warrior's in the portal, and if I close this, it gets ejected. This is working great so far. I was going to say, if you try to enter that portal, that would not be working great. All right, so that's fixed. So now we're at like 70% complete. And now the next thing, yeah, what? This might still be something we need to look at. So this is done, and this we need to fix. Hey, Skeleseller, hey, Goose. Maybe I'm doomed to always wake up at 9 instead of 8 and not be first. We started adjusting our sleep schedule to our cat because she's got a very cute routine. She'll wake up at like 7 in the morning, and then she'll be like, "Are you both still alive?" And she'll check on us. And she woke us up enough times doing that where my wife just started going to bed a little earlier than normal. Do I have a great picture that I can show you? No, here's a quick one. Hang on, let me figure out why this won't work. All right, there we go. She was laying on my lap, watching Severance with us. What a good cat. That's when you have 3 windows open. Let's go take a look at that now. How do I keep opening this? I know I'm pressing the shortcut for it, but how am I doing that? Like, what is wrong with my muscle memory right now that's causing that to happen? Love that cat. So this was, you have an adventurer that's busy. Now we need to know that you don't have any battle slots that are open. Is that here? Yeah, no room for an instance slot. All right, that's not a thing anymore now. We're going to need to make room. So to do, close the oldest instance slot and free those adventurers. All right, and what's the function called? Close instance slot. Okay, let's think about this. We need to just get the instance slot oldest. Oh, there we go. Oh, that was easy. And then we just close it. Close instance slot. Okay, I think we're done with that. So if they were in a battle, it's going to end that battle. Yeah. Okay, let's try this out. So everyone's moving really slowly, which is good because it'll allow me to actually repro this thing. So we're going to start a battle with the rogue, the mage, and a whole bunch of others. And then they're going to take forever getting there. But we have a debug speed up button. So now the rogue... That's not good. It moved that over to the right side. I don't know why that happened. And then it put the... What? What happened there? Okay, that was weird. Let me try that again. Start one of the rogue, start one of the mage. Debug speed up the rogue. It goes on the right side. Okay, I don't know if I just did that or not, so let's go find out. Start battle with rogue. Start battle with mage. Or either can make it to the portal. Debug speed up the rogue. It'll swap the order of the battle windows. Does it create an instance as opposed to teleporting the adventurers? I'm not sure, and it definitely could be a problem with just me hitting a debug button, in which case it's not worth fixing. So let's try it the normal way. We're going to start one with the rogue, we're going to speed this up. And then we're going to start one with the mage. No, the rogue, wait. Did that work correctly? I don't actually know. Too hard to tell because they made it at practically the same time. So let's pick the archer is closer. So archer, and then the rogue is farther. So rogue. There. Now the archer is going to make it into the portal. We'll speed this up a little bit. And it should start right there. No, it doesn't. Okay, yeah. So I think I broke this. I think it's... Oh, I know what's going on. Oh, darn it. Yeah, I know what's going on. Okay. The problem is that it's detecting that the adventurer is walking to the portal because of the code I just added. So it's closing that window and starting a new one. We need to know that the adventurer is occupied due to another window. Hey, Pies. Hey, Pretzel. That might be difficult to do, but either way, that's not the thing I wanted to test exactly yet. So let's try one more thing. We'll start a battle over here. So now I have 3 battles running. One with the archer, the rogue, and the witch doctor. And I'm going to try to start a new one with the cleric. Oh, this is disabled. Oh, man. All right, we gotta stop that. Is at max battles is just going to be hard-coded to false. There. Yeah. Taking forever. Wait, you're still doing it? I thought from the message you sent me that you were done, as in you didn't want to continue. What is this? Snooze 3 out of 3. Can you only snooze 3 ad breaks per stream? I know snoozing ad breaks is a thing. I don't know what the 3 out of 3 means. Or does it mean I've done it 3 out of 3 times already? Because I have not done it. Okay, so start that. And now I'm going to start a 4th battle and it should clear out the one with the rogue. So let's try starting one with the paladin. Nice, it worked. It also rearranged the windows, which maybe you wouldn't expect. So now let's try that again. They're all in a battle, and I say, let's start a big one with these characters. Yeah, that worked. Now if I do this again, it's going to start one with the... it's going to get rid of the 2nd slot. It did that. So if I just click all of these randomly and hit start, that works. I just click another bunch of random ones and hit start. Is this working? There's the archer. Yeah. Although it closed another window, didn't it? Oh, but that's because of the code that I had that's broken. Okay. So we got to figure this part out. All right. Oh man, I don't know. This is gonna be very difficult to figure out. Let me write this out over here. Start battle with rogue. It's adventure component. Instance slot ID isn't going to be set at all. Won't be set since it's not in a battle yet. Start battle with mage. But instance slot is 1 will now know about it. And then start battle with mage. Instance slot 2 will now know about it. And then the rogue makes it to the portal. And ideally, we don't close anything. We just start the battle in instance slot 1. Need motivation to play this game quickly? Have you ever thought of blasting EDM while you code? I I play some video game music occasionally while I'm coding, not while streaming. And I guess sometimes it's closer to EDM than other things that I listen to. Yeah. What do you listen to when you're playing a game on your own? Is it the game soundtrack or is it something else? Because I think I tend to listen to game music, or the game that I'm playing, I mean. Like I don't listen to Zelda music if I'm playing a Mario game or something. Because I kind of trust that the game's music will be good enough. I can't think of one that's not true. I've been playing some Stardew Valley lately and I'm listening to Stardew music. Yeah, I can't think of the last game I muted the music to. All right, how do we know this though? Because this just says that they're going to a battle for something. We need to know that they're going to this battle. Don't have the attention span to just play a game without some second monitor person. Yeah, the rise of that kind of multitasking, I think, is probably also what's hurting our attention spans. But yeah, it used to be just play a game and do that one thing, and now it's like play a game, check social media, have someone online in the background. Oh, Dead by Daylight. Listen to walking sounds on a 10-hour loop. Always confuse you. All right, well, we do something at the bottom of this, right? Something similar. We eject them from the portal only in a particular case, and it's here. Any adventurers that are in the portal as a result of this battle need to be freed. So we need that same general idea here, but we don't track this the right way. Is this even necessary anymore? Maybe it isn't. Yeah, I need to know that they're engaged in this battle. All right, this seemed to be fine. Maybe there's an easier way we can do that, but yeah, this to do, we need to know that they're in this, they're busy because of this window. Something I played it has something to do with my hands while listening to podcasts, so I mute the music. Is it a good game compared to Smash? Because I was reading some of the Steam reviews and I was like, this doesn't sound like the right game for me, so I never tried it. Ugliest. Yeah, you can't mute the Skeleseller music. Being able to figure this out wouldn't be that hard to do. We can keep track of an instance slot ID here, and it could always just be the latest one. It's just there's probably some edge case I'm not aware of here, and I wonder if I can make this better. Will that also clear the instance.adventures? Otherwise, it seems impossible, or it seems possible that you try to eject the same slot twice for 2 adventurers. Yeah, it's okay though if we try to eject the same one for 2 adventurers, because nothing in here is problematic. We call clear, and then this nulls everything out after doing it, so it's not going to matter anymore. We call free, and this checks to see if it was null. This function checks to see if it was null, and then nulls it out. So it should be fine to just call this as many times as we want. Oh, actually, it can't be called that many times, I think, because we call get slot by ID, which can only return ones that haven't been freed. So yeah, it won't be an issue. Hey, ignorant. I unfortunately can read very few languages. So yeah, if you don't mind translating your stuff to English, and if you can't understand English, then you can't understand what I'm saying anyway, and there's probably no reason to be here. That was awesome compared to Smash. Not a party game though. Awesome compared to Smash. Them's fighting words. But what fighting game do we use to fight? I say Smash. How many characters are there? Hey, Tony. Yeah, oh yeah, I know I can translate it, but the problem is I'd have to then translate every message they end up typing. I actually did run it through a translator just to make sure it was okay. I just if they if they can't translate their messages first to English, then it'd be a problem for everyone else in chat too. I think there's 11 right now, I see. That's actually not too bad. I think the first Smash game launched with what, 12, I want to say? Smash N64. Actually, the real test would be if I could just list them all out. Yeah, it was 12. And that felt like some good variety in there. All right, well, anyway, here's what I'm thinking. I think I need to store this no matter what, if a character is involved in this instance. But I'm still not totally sure. Figure out what makes the most sense. I can store the last window associated with an adventurer and set it whenever they're about to do a battle thing. Walk to the portal, auto battle, etc. All of these states are battle things, right? Either you're in the battle, that's obviously a battle thing. You're waiting for a battle. You're in the portal to be in a battle. Or you're walking to the portal to be in a battle. Yeah. So I just need to know that they're in that for this slot, and if so, to free them. But that concept of this slot is kind of interesting, right? Give me a sec. Like I said, this is difficult and could definitely go wrong, which is why I'm trying to like triple check this. Only free ones whose instance slot matches this. So we need to know the same thing here too. They need an instance slot that is not equal to this. Is tied up for battle is equal to all of this stuff. And that their instance slot is not equal to the instance slot to use. So we need to know they were in a different window. If the adventurer was busy in a different battle window, then end that window. Now this won't work because this is only set if you're in one specific situation, which is that you're auto battling. So now we got to figure this problem out. Creating a live chat using WebSocket, nice, yeah. Hey TJ, and hey Popsy. That's the editor. I mean, just the key bindings, maybe like Vim and VS Code. Oh, I see. Yeah, why don't I use the key bindings? Part of the reason why is I already have the muscle memory for like all of the hotkeys that I'm using, and I don't know how many of them would change once I start using Vim. The other reason why is I'm on a Colmac keyboard, so like for me to type HJKL is the lowest row, then the top row, then the lowest row, and then the top row again. So it's like they're not arranged the right way. I know you can rebind all this stuff, but it's like if you're gonna rebind it all, might as well just use the bindings I already know. And then the last reason is like, will it really improve my efficiency that much? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, so yeah, this is the big question now. We have all this written out. So now the problem is that instance slot ID is only set when they're auto battling. We need to know it no matter what. What would happen if it were set no matter what? They're in the portal as a result of this battle need to be freed. This just makes them wander around, right? Oh my God, this is difficult because we never had this assumption before, and now I have to go back and fix a bunch of other assumptions based on this. If auto battle is just turned off and you're in a brand new battle, then the adventurers should still walk to the portal since you haven't canceled the battle. So auto repeat was on, you turned it off, and you're not walking in the portal. Oh, I see. Oh my God. Oh, this is so specific. So we need to take them out of the portal when you turn auto battle off. Yeah. Yeah, so this function is probably dumb. All right. This is the most difficult thing I've ever done. Not really, but it's definitely difficult. All right, we're going to take this over to here. And what we're going to do is we're going to check to see any adventurers you had. This is assuming that the instance exists, which I guess it has to because we know the walk into portal is null here. So the adventurers in this instance slot and get ECS dot get component adventurer component. What is in battle or something? It's whatever we had set over here. This is only in the case that they're in the battle lobby. Yeah. All right, so this is kind of dumb. We need to now write a better function here. If you just turned off auto battle and walk into portal isn't null, it's got to be, wait a second. Yeah, turning off auto battle, otherwise it doesn't matter. Yeah, if you just turn off auto battle after a battle has finished, then it means that a battle isn't about to start. Why do we do that actually? Maybe that's just a dumb thing to do. Yeah, if a battle was on its way to starting, then what do we care? Why would we stop this? Hold on a second. The adventurers did another thing. You canceled the party in transit. Yeah, I don't think this makes sense. Okay, so question. All right, here's the scenario, I guess. You start a battle with the rogue and mage. They finish the battle. You repeat the battle with auto repeat on, and then before they make it to the portal, you turn off auto repeat. Should that stop a battle from happening? I think the answer is no. Was this because you would stop auto battle if you lost? Oh, wait. I think I see what the problem is here. It's actually not this scenario. It's a different scenario. It's you start an auto battle with a Roman Mage. They finish that, and then you turn off auto repeat before the timer finishes. Should that stop a battle from happening? That should probably be yes. Is there a penalty for leaving a battle? No, none whatsoever. It doesn't lower your life. It doesn't take any loot or something from you. I guess the only thing you could argue is that if a battle was just about to be won, the penalty for leaving it is that you won't win the battle, so you won't get loot you would have won. Yeah, God, this is so specific though. So it's this scenario. You have auto repeat on. They make it to the portal. Then before the battle finishes and it oh, why is it not auto repeating? Something seems wrong there. Oh, because it's starting a new battle, so it doesn't know that it's supposed to auto repeat. All right, anyway, this should do it. Yeah, all right, that does it, but then it's going to turn it off. Yes. All right, let's try this again. This is really stupid. So we have this on, and before the timer hits the max, we turn this off. Right now, it ejects the mage from the portal. If we didn't do that, then I guess they would be stuck in battle. Yeah, so if you just turned off auto battle after battle is finished, then it means then it indicate. Well, actually, does it indicate anything? It would just start a battle again if you turn this off. Turn this off. Ejected from the portal. They didn't, then it would just start the battle immediately. Yeah. Man. Hey, Remy. So there's a specific scenario where we want to eject adventurers from the portal. You had auto battle on, finished the battle, then turned off auto battle before the timer caused the next battle to start. In that case, it means you don't want to battle anymore. Something like that's a little bit clearer, I guess. Might you need a handler class to manage the battle states or some sort of enumeration for the state. So the thing is, we just have a lot of different states here, and I'm just making a different assumption. Like everything was working fine, and then I was like, you know what, we should be able to just cancel an ongoing battle. But it's not something that the user explicitly does. So like if it were clicking this button here, the close button, it'd be like, okay, this window should go away. But instead what's happening is you can have any adventurer in like 3 different windows at once. And then you might start another battle and we need to close any windows that had that adventurer, free them from the battle state, free any other adventurers in the battle state. It's like we're cutting through all these states that I had set up already. And it's just hard to figure out exactly why you would want certain things to be the case. So I think this makes sense now. Yeah, those darn users with their expectations. So now this wouldn't need to be here. We would just need to check any adventurers. No, this doesn't need to be here. Oh, and cancel party and transit needs to be done. Still doesn't it? Oh, darn it. Free the Yeah, okay. I'm wrong. This won't work. Or it will work and we can continue to call this. Okay, I think I know what we need to do. I think we need to set this instance slot ID no matter what. Where's this get called? The adventurer will be battling again, prevent them from entering town. That is in battle lobby. Take adventurers out of battle. This keeps them in the battle. This says set in battle false. Which I guess would free up their instance slot. Now they're not associated with any battle. But then there are like 2 or 3 other cases where we need to set this thing. Something sets this to false over here, doesn't it? No longer be in the lobby. We don't need to set this ID here. God, this is so confusing. This is going to clear the instance slot. Okay, so I think what we need is a way of setting this from somewhere. This is a private setter right now. What if we just made this public completely? just embrace the idle gameplay. We don't have users, we don't have problems. So we don't set this. We don't do this. We don't need that. We don't need this. What is this? Instance ID? Why is this not, whatever that used to say is the code that I want. I don't remember what it used to say though. Slot ID, that's what it was. All movies are userless games. All right, so now the only thing I need to do is set this everywhere that we would have set anything in here. So for example, set as in battle. If this is ever set to true, which I guess is right here, this is when you're not simulating. Create player battlers, adventure dot this. This is probably dumb. There are other states here too. Where are those? Is walking to portal? Where do we set this to true? Here. When you enter this state. Does this only knows that it's attached to a node. This won't even work. Oh man. Well, where do we tell them to enter this state? Walk to portal. Actually, as soon as there's a party in transit, we could just do it then. Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad. Adventurer dot this. We don't know what this slot is going to be. The only thing that would know it is the thing that's calling init. All right, I think we've covered all of the states. We did this in a bad way, but I can work on that in a bit. Then there's is in portal. What sets that? In portal state sets that. So what causes them to enter this state? Enter portal. And what calls that? Party in transit, which shouldn't matter. Yeah. Because if you're in a party in transit, then we already would have set your instance ID. All right, so I think we covered everything. We covered this and this for sure. Is in battle lobby. Only gets set in here, enter, which is from this, which is called from, not there, here, yes, okay, good. And then the last one is in battle. Is in battle is for the adventure. Yes, this is done. Okay. What language? It is C#, which is very, very similar to Java. I think it was Magic. Yeah, I think if you know Java, starting to use C# is going to feel very natural, and vice versa. There are going to be some things where you're like, oh, what is this called? The thing that always tripped me up is Java exceptions. I feel like there are a lot of them, and there's usually one for every little scenario you want. And C# exceptions, I think there are very few of them. So there's some like, I don't know, I don't remember exactly, but like invalid state exception or something like that. And this is sort of just a catch-all, and let me just find what it is. This is kind of a dumb example at this point anyway. Yeah, illegal state exception is invalid operation exception. That one always trips me up. Using Java should be an exception. You just start any program, it throws an exception. You should not be using Java. Okay, so does this work? Let's go try it. So now when we just start a regular battle, it shouldn't change the order of them, and it used to. So we're going to start one with the rogue and start one with the mage, and they're going to walk very, very slowly. So we're going to speed that up. And we should still see the rogue first. Yes, but it's hard to know for sure that worked. So let's try that again, but with characters who are different ways apart. So the archer next. Okay, good. It looks like this is working, but there are like a million things we got to figure out here. So let's get rid of all of these battle windows. Let's start a battle with these 4 characters, and then start one with just the warrior, and it should close the last window. It did. And now only the warrior should go into that. Yes. Now, while that's going on, we're going to start another battle with the warrior, which just immediately kicks off, but their life hasn't changed. And now another battle with the warrior, and another battle with the warrior, and another battle with the warrior. And now when they win, they got 3 items. They got ejected from the portal. Let's start with auto battle, see what happens there. So they win this battle, just starts a new one. They get ejected from the portal, looks good. Yeah, so it looks like this is working. Now let's try when you have 3 battle windows open. And let's turn on auto battle for all of these. And speed it up so they're actually in the battles. There. Okay, so they're all in the battles. Now we're going to start one with the mage, but we don't have a free battle window. So it's going to take the oldest window, which is the one with the warrior. And now it got closed, and we have the mage one on the side. I know that not all this is visible because I'm covering it with my camera, but it's clear enough what's happening, I think. The only thing that I think is weird about that is it took the leftmost window, closed it, and then opened it on the right. We might want to know its relative position and keep it the same to indicate that we closed the oldest battle. And the oldest battle won't always be the leftmost one in that case. Or, no, yeah, no, there is no or. It's what I said. We'd have to reuse the same slot. Okay, so that's a little polished thing we can do, but I don't think that's crucial. We could try reusing the same position of the window we just closed for this scenario. Open mage battle, open rogue battle, open warrior battle, open witch doctor battle. So expected, the mage battle is closed, and the window looks like it's reused for the witch doctor. And actual, it looks, the mage battle is closed, but it's in the position where the warrior battle was. Yeah. Like I has this lousy t-shirt and it's I'm with stupid pointing at the portal. Okay, well I think we've done this. Will the warrior still be battling but invisible or ejected from the portal? So basically the whole feature we did here is it used to be that these red characters here, the ones that are kind of faded out, you wouldn't be able to start a new battle. It would just have an error here and it would say like, hey, these are already in battle. You should go free them up. And the way you'd have to do this is by closing this window and then be like, oh wait, it's still showing the warriors in battle. I wonder if we even need to fade these anymore. It's still helpful probably, but yes, that is a bug. And I don't know what caused that. Let's do this. We have Rogue Archer Mage. Rogue Archer Mage. Oh, and the mage does not look like they're in a battle. And we start one with the cleric. Rogue Archer Mage. Rogue Archer Mage. And we started one with a cleric. Cleric does look like they're in a battle, but the rogue should be freed up, and they never are. Yeah, okay, there's a bug with that. So I think this stuff is fixed. And I think the new bug is characters still look like they're in battle when they aren't. And I think the repro is just that first thing that I was talking about. So we start, we put rogue, mage, warrior. They're all marked red, and then we try putting a cleric into a battle. It did successfully clear the rogue. So how do we break this? Put the rogue back into a fight. Took the mage out. Oh yeah. So it's when they're in a battle. So start 3 battles with 3 individual characters. Let them actually get into the battle. Then start a 4th battle. The first battler will look like they're stuck in battle at this point. What's supposed to free their state? The thing that's red. Oh, change battle state is supposed to do it. Battle state changed. Yeah, here it is. What calls that? This does. Oh, this is only when you change the states directly. Oh, God. Something to do with the bug I encounter where an adventurer is stuck in a battle window but not able to battle. I think that was caused by a different issue that I've since fixed. But it is hard to know for sure. Typically, when someone gets stuck in a battle, it's because of another error. And I forgot exactly what it was, but I'm pretty sure we fixed that. So something is presumably not calling this and needs to. And I assume that it's coming from the force close thing that we have here, this close instance slot. This needs to free the state of all of the adventurers that we had here, which is what this thing should be responsible for doing. Oh, no, it's what this thing should be responsible for doing. Calls flee battle. Flee battle calls this. This calls into this. We get down to the bottom of this function. Calls into this. Calls into this. Huh. Worker, no, WC. Worker component. Something unusual is here. I don't know what frees these from the battle. Yeah, I don't know what does that. I guess we can just put a breakpoint on the function and figure it out. Battle state changed. Yeah, what calls this? So we just flee a battle and it should get hit? Yeah. change states. This is called from the whole state machine stuff changing, but it needs to be called from something over here. Oh, here it is. Take adventurers out of battle. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, is it because we had auto battle running? It might have been. In which case, when we force end of battle, we need to turn auto battle off. Is that what's happening though? Let me restart this. Maybe because auto repeat is on. So we're, no, but fleeing the battle should turn it off. Oh, but it doesn't because of, oh, man. Just calls battle stage ended. It doesn't turn it off. Fleeing the battle may need to turn this off. Sure is something. Okay, so was it on that whole time? No, it wasn't. Yeah, at least I don't think so. We just needed to get them into a battle. So I speed this up and then I start a new fight and the rogue is still going to be marked as being in a battle. No, they're not. I'm going to have to watch the VOD probably. Or maybe all of them needed to be in the battle, so we speed all of these up and then we start one with the paladin. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I gotta watch the VOD. I don't know what happened there. Mute this, mute this. Are we in F-Zero? Because this is Mute City. Not losing my sanity. Okay, where did this happen? I looked through all this stuff, but I got, oh, yep, there. Started a new one. I started a battle, start a battle, start a battle. Then I tried starting one and it didn't actually mess anything up. Then I apparently did enable auto repeat. Look at that. That's why we have VODs of this stuff. Yeah. Looks like that's the case. So all we need to do is turn off auto repeat when we flee the battle. All right, let's see. Where does this happen normally? Flee button dot press. Flee battle. This is private. That's the one I want to call. Why can't I call this one? I guess there's just no reason before this. And where am I trying to call it instead? Oh, are you kidding me? I could have just called flee battle like this. Oh, well, whoops. All right, that should fix the bug. Yeah. Let's make sure it fixes the bug. At least this was just a visual bug. Some are functional bugs that stop you from doing something, but this was just something was colored red that shouldn't be red. Still a problem. Still worth fixing. Just not ultra important. All right, so we start all three of these. We actually load them into the battle. Then we load a fourth one in, and it should mark that the rogue is no longer in the battle. Perfect. All right, now if we put all three of these into a battle, it closes all of their windows. Neat. Why hasn't it started the fight, though? Because the cleric wasn't there? Oh, because she was only walking to the portal that whole time? But if she makes it in, it should start the battle. Yeah. All right, I think things are working here. Yeah, I think they're working. Okay, that was a little weird. That actually does work how I wanted it to work, but it's weird that it did that. Oh, and now we could fix the bug. Oh my God. Oh man. Okay. We can now fix the bug where you can't enable auto repeat after clicking repeat battle. Start a battle, win it, click repeat. It disables auto repeat. Forced in-game ads from all Steam titles. Yeah, I read that article. I thought that's a pretty good thing to make clear in their terms of service or whatever. But I think even in that article they mentioned they've never seen a game that does that, and I also have never seen a game that does that. But then again, if there were a game that did that, I assume the reviews would talk about it, and I would notice it and then just not play it. but now it's not an issue at all because you'd see a game that does that and then report it, and then Valve would remove it from the store. Okay, this is a risky set of changes. We should definitely check in what we've done. We have some little cleanup things to do, some polish we could do as well. I don't like how some of this stuff worked. And hopefully there's no unexpected behavior here. No room for the instant slot. That's not a thing anymore. All right, so that needs to change. Battle panel. Yeah, let's go into that. Is it coming to mobile as a game store? Huh, I never even thought about that. What would that even... Let's say that happened. So you go to Google Play and you get the Steam app. So Google Play takes a 30% cut. Steam, I guess, would take a 30% cut. So if you were to make $100, what are you making now? I don't know how they would do this. So how other sort of like platform apps work, you get Google Play, there's a 30% cut, then you get something like Twitch, and Twitch takes a 50% cut by default. Playing Fort Minor. Remember the name. No. Oh, stop it. Hang on a second. Okay. I had to mute that because it just played some music. I don't even know how I triggered that. I don't know what I said. Apparently by saying Google triggered my phone, which I know there's a trigger phrase for that. But then how did I get it to play music? I guess by saying play. Huh. Well, that was unfortunate. Anyway, the way that other sites do this is that they just raise their subscription fee or something. So it might be like $5 on the site, and it might be something like $7 through the app. And then the creator doesn't care, but the platform tends to care. Imagine it would not go through Google Play. Is basically what the EU is requiring now. Oh, interesting. I wonder how that would work, though. I feel like some of the biggest earners for mobile platforms have to be these mega companies that have their own subscriptions, but have to funnel them through the platform, or can funnel them through the platform at least. Like, what does Netflix do for their pricing on iOS, for example? What do they do? Plans and pricing. How much does it cost on the iPhone? I don't even see this on their site. Some of these are exempt in iOS. Really? Okay. Because I know that you can still sign up on the site and then just use the app on the phone. And I know that Epic is embroiled in some legal battle with all the different app stores. Yeah, I didn't know there was a way to bypass it though. Interesting. Okay, so we're gonna delete this stuff now, right? At least one of your adventurers is in battle or flagged for battle already. Maybe we should keep this here and we should just say starting a battle will end their battles. That's kind of what Dark has suggested, that there could be a message about that. It wouldn't really be an error. It would just be a warning, I guess. It's 15%. I don't think I was aware of that. Is that new in the last like 4 years? Because I think when I was on the Play Store, I think they were taking 30%. It is, okay. Yeah. Anyway, it is tough because it's like every middleman in any business wants to take some money, right? Like for you to buy an apple at the grocery store, the farmer had to sell to some distributor who had to sell to the grocery store, had to sell to you, or whatever steps are involved, right? And like if everyone didn't get a cut, then there'd be no reason for them to do that. But when you're talking about digital goods, it's tough sometimes because from the user's point of view, it's like it's this site giving it to me, and it's not necessarily. All right, yeah. So question Do we show a warning about this closing windows, closing battles? We could. We'd probably want to say it in a different color. How is error text? Does it have a color? How does that work? It's a label, so it's not a rich text label. So we need to change the color manually. Go to the website for subscriptions. I'm guessing to avoid Play Store fees. Yeah. Okay, so just so you know, it was playing some song by Fort Minor that must have something like that in the name. What's the name of that song? I think it was Remember the Name. I'm not sure. Oh, I didn't type out the full sentence because I'm lazy. Okay, got you, Josh. All right. Well, anyway, at least one of your adventurers is in a battle. Is in battle. Starting a new one will end such battles. Something like that. And I don't know if we want this or not. It shouldn't be considered. It shouldn't disable the button. Same thing with is it max battles shouldn't disable the button, but maybe they should still show you something. And I want to try this out. It might not make sense. It might make sense. Who knows? You already have the maximum number of battles open. Starting a new one will close. Will close one for you. Yeah, maybe we use that same wording here. At least one of your adventures in battle. Starting a new one will end such battles for you. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Tricked myself into triggering a voice command. Well, I say okay, cool a lot. And very often my phone, yep, it just happened. Very often my phone will think that I said okay, Google. And I am not saying that. But cool and Google sound too similar. Okay, so now you start a battle. Try starting another battle. And it says at least one of your adventurers is in battle. Starting a new one will end such battles for you. I click start, and it would have ended it. Same thing if you have too many windows open. So we do this. And now it says you already have the maximum number of battles open. Starting a new battle will close one for you. Yeah, I like this. I think this is pretty good. So now what's controlling the color? Battle panel. Errors go here. What is giving this a color? Theme override color, font color. Okay, so we got to override the theme. And it's set to this by default. Overriding themes is annoying to remember the function call for it. What is this called? Error label dot something about theme override. Add theme color override. It's probably this. Color dot from HTML. So that's the error color. And then these will be warning colors, I guess. What's a good yellow to use? Sure, I don't know that. All right, let's try that. We'll close one for you. Which one? The oldest one. And it could say that. Yeah, maybe change it to a rich text label. Yeah, I might end up doing that. I just want to see if this looks good. So now you do that, and it says, no, it looks, well, the color looks bad. When it's red, it's fine. How do we get it to even be red anymore? Oh yeah, if you don't have any adventurers in your party. Let's just look at it. Oh, I could have just done this. Whoops. Brighter would be bad. Yeah, I think brighter is bad. I don't think you can make this yellow and have it look good because it's on a bluish gray background. I think that's as good as you could do. Or just pick a different color altogether. Maybe more orangish. I just think it has to be very dark for you to be able to read it. How was my weekend? It was pretty good. Um, yeah, it was pretty good. I feel like I did a lot of different things. Well, productive stuff. But I didn't do a lot of coding stuff. Yeah, it needs to be dark. Well, if it needs to be dark, that's what I'm wondering. Like, is it even worthwhile to instill some color in here? Like, would you be able to tell at a glance that this is yellowish or orange, or should it just be black and it should just say like that? Yeah. Or you know what we could do? We could give it a shadow color and make this be colorful. So make that yellow, make it like that almost. It's the only instance of any text where we do something like this. I don't know. We could give it an outline and then just increase the size of the outline. That certainly makes it apparent. Yeah. I don't like it. I'd rather show an icon. I guess we're gonna have it in the tooltip anyway. If I do this, it shows up there already. So if I do this with a battle, it should show up as well, right? Yeah, at least one of your adventures is in battle. Starting a new one will end such battles for you. Yeah, so I think just having it in black text is probably fine. And we'll just let the tooltip handle the rest for us. So colors dot black. And then same thing here. Then what was I gonna do? There was some other part of this. Oh yeah. What Stockton was talking about, which is starting a new battle will close the oldest one for you. Yeah. Been putting in 12K steps instead of 10K, so I'm happy about it. Yeah, I really think that's great. I've been trying to go on more walks with my wife, and we have some restaurants that are probably like maybe a little over a mile from us. And it's generally a nice walk, except for that for whatever reason, our neighborhood got like way more snow than other neighborhoods around here. So the sidewalks were practically covered in snow, and we had to walk in the road, which is a bit spooky. And I've got a light and everything, but yeah, every once in a while, even if a street has a 25-mile-per-hour speed limit, you see someone like zipping down it. And it just, I don't need adrenaline on my walks. I want a relaxing walk. Yeah, I wonder if it's even worth showing the text here or just on the, I don't know. I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. I like this. Okay, I'm happy with that. So let's get this checked in. Hey, Mystical Cell. I won. All right, is there any centralized place where we can do this? We set instance slot ID. Where does this happen from? Two are inside battle system. Creating the player battlers. We probably need to test the battle simulator too. Make sure we didn't mess anything up. So anytime we know they're going to be in a battle, do this here and here. And the only other place we do it is here. Already in transit, because you're walking to a battle. Why do we do it from that though? Why don't we do it from the caller of this? Total start battle. No matter what, this is going to mark them all as being in this battle, right? Confusing. Yes, that's what this is doing. Okay, yeah, I think we're fine. Potentially remove the text and show an icon next to start battle button or inside it. Yeah, that's true. And I think that would work. And I think giving any more space that we can give to the map would probably be good. We just show either a warning symbol or just an exclamation mark or something. Warrior hasn't made it there yet. I'm just trying things out. I'm making sure that this works, and it looks like everything's fine. This has been crazy. Okay, I think I'm happy enough with that. Let's keep going with the changes. The slot ID of the instance that this adventurer is in, they can be in multiple at once, so I got to clarify this. The slot ID of the instance that this adventurer is doing some battle-related activity in. Note that adventurers can be in multiple windows. They can only be flagged for battle in one of them. So this should be null if they're not battling anywhere. And did we test that? Like if I start a new battle with the archer, it shouldn't close the existing window. It doesn't. Good. And then I win that battle, and I start a new battle with the archer and the warrior. Doesn't close the original window. And then if I try starting a new battle with the rogue, it's going to close the first window because that's the oldest one. Yeah, that's going to put it on the right side, which is a small polish bug I got to fix. Okay. Yeah, sure. Cool. Great. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Is this going to break anything else? Turn off auto repeat. What happens if you turn off auto repeat while you're in a battle? Nothing. Because where is this code? It's an instant slot. How is that not breaking things? Huh. Interesting. How is that not breaking things? What? How does that make sense? I am confused. I mean, it's working how I want it to work. I just need to make sense of it. The instance is not null, so we do this. Oh, it doesn't free people who are in battle. Okay, that's cool. It's working. All right, let's keep going. This has a little underscore under it. Collection can be simplified. Sure. Now what? That's failing. Use properties where appropriate. I'd like to use a property. Replace with property. Now it's going to say to move it. Property should not follow a method. Oh, VS Code. Can't just fix it for me. What's it called? Adventurers? Yeah. And did it replace the places where I had get adventurers? Yes. Apparently I use the word get adventurers a lot. The words get adventurers. All right, force stop ongoing battle. Set this. That's good. Which was busy in a different battle window, then end that window. This does not look smart. Do we have something that checks that? Yeah, here. Can start battle. That's what we want. If they're not in battle, so they're not all of these things, and we had a bunch of ores there. Well, well, well. Let's go change that. Is tied up for battle is equal to adventurer component dot can start battle adventurer. So that's that they can start it. They're tied up if they can't start it. We should probably just call this can start battle. So if they can't start a battle and it's because of another instance, then we close that instance. And we don't need this anymore. Yeehaw. All right, that's nice. Keep going through this. No available adventures, that's fine. I don't think this should ever get hit. This is fine. Good, good. Don't check this in, don't check this in. And then these colors, this should probably change a bit. Yeah. Now what do we do here? We move this down because it's public now, that's fine. Yeah, okay, everything looks good except for the font color thing. And I'm gonna just put these at the top for now because I don't really care about this. You can't make constant colors, can you? Static const color C equals. Yeah, I think you can only make them read only. Yeah. All right, so we'll call this like error text color is equal to that. That's not how that works. From HTML. All right, that's the error text color. And then I guess warning text color, we're just gonna say is black. Just because, I don't even really write anything. I was gonna say because yellow looks bad there. All right, now what's the problem with this? Just that they're unused? Yep. Now let's go use them. So this is gonna be the error color, and this is gonna be the warning color. All right, there. So now we don't have any constants in here that should be removed. I think this is good. And we just don't check in this, and we don't check in this. All right. That took, wow, 2 hours? I feel like that time flew by. But also, I think this represents a major usability leap for the game. Like really, everyone was hitting this problem, and especially new players. But we only have new players because it's a demo, and it's not like you can be playing for 12 hours and have learned your way around this. So yeah, tons of people would do something like this. They'd start a battle, and they'd be like, oh, let me actually put the mage in a different location. And now they can just do that. They would have to close the window before and be like, oh, let me close this battle and then go back into here and then remake their party. So yeah, big usability bump. All right, so that's for this. And we mostly coded it, but there's still some polish work. Allow auto canceling ongoing battles. This is for this issue. It's mostly done, but there's some minor polish that I still want to do. All right. Make sure that's closed. I'm going to take a break, but I want to finish this up. I don't think it's going to be too bad. This is definitely going to be a lot harder. So we still have this to do, and this to do. These are done. This I don't think is a problem anymore. Yeah, so 3 more tasks. This is finished. And this is finished. Okay. All right, I'll be back in a few minutes. Is it jump time? It's jump time. Hi again, everybody. Close the game. All right, let's start going with this stuff. So the battle simulator, we need this to be on and then something to call this, I think. I don't remember what. Maybe nothing. We just need to make sure that it's running 100 battles. Yeah. I might need to do something. No, it looks like it worked. Okay, yeah, so that's fine. Okay, so revert this whole thing. So that's done. Now this is going to be hard. I don't know how we're going to do this. You now fix the bug where you can't enable auto repeat after clicking repeat battle. Oh man. Alright, so where's this happen? End battle screen. We have some auto repeat this thing. Because what, repeat battle needs to be enabled? Auto repeat is on. All adventurers can start battle. We need to know that you're repeating it. Oh man. It's dumb. Let me run this again and just make sure that I understand what's even happening here. So we put some adventurers into a battle. They win the battle. And I hit repeat. I cannot press auto repeat. But there's no real reason why. It's just because we see that there are adventurers that can't start the battle. And you know that they're walking to this battle already. Adventurers is flagged for battle. Yeah, that. We need to know. Oh, man. Oh, also, I wonder if. I didn't even think about this. I wonder if this is another scenario we should look at. So let's say you have an adventurer in here. So the warrior is doing battle on the screen on the right. We disable repeat over here. But we actually could enable it and it would just close this battle window. I think that's a bad idea because I think you have the tools to manage this stuff here. So if you want this to end, then you can click flee and then repeat over here. Yeah. Yeah. You can now check if they're assigned to the same instance slot. That's true. I can. It's just how exactly do I go about doing this the best way? And I think it's that we'd have to modify this here. So basically, we don't disallow this if all of the adventurers are in this battle. So if all of the adventurers are in this battle, then it's okay to enable auto repeat. How do we check that? Do we have adventurers here? Yeah, if adventurers dot true for all a dot instance slot ID is equal to the instance slot ID, then just don't do anything. Yeah, let's do it that way. And now what? We need a break here. I guess we could just put the break here. Okay, let's see if that works. Man. I have an unrelated to this story. So we've had our cat for about a year and she got, I don't know, 2 vaccines in a series of 3 that she should have had. And they told us when we adopted her that, hey, in a year, you should bring her to a vet. You should get the remaining vaccines. Okay, everything's great. Problem is, we only took a picture of one of the papers that they gave us when we adopted the cat, And I think we have those papers somewhere else. And we have a filing cabinet. And I hunted through this entire filing cabinet. And I could not find those papers. And I asked my wife, I'm like, when you put something in the filing cabinet, you're actually filing it, right? And she said, no, I just throw it in somewhere. I said, that's the whole point of a filing cabinet is to put things in the right place so that we can find them in the future. So there's things like keepsakes or health records or something that she's just been like, just putting random pieces of paper in. So now we have to go through basically every single file in the entire filing cabinet and reorganize everything. I just said, what if we went to the grocery store and put all of our groceries in just a cabinet somewhere? Like milk, eggs, whatever, stuff's going bad. Just what's the point of a filing cabinet? All right, I think we fixed this thing, right? Let's try it out. So we start the battle, we flee the battle, we repeat and then enable auto battle. We still can't do that. It's disabled, I think. Why is it disabled though? It must be this. Hit repeat. Is this true? False. Why? Because we haven't actually done. Oh, because this is called on one battle state changing? So it'll get called on all of them changing, I think. Digital document management system. Well, these are physical files. If they were digital, I think it'd be easier to fix. But actually, maybe still hard. I don't know. Then this gets called another time. And presumably this is still messed up. So let's look at adventurers 0. Can we do that? Yeah, but we need the instance slot ID. Is this still null? It is. What sets this? It's when they're walking to the portal. But shouldn't something eventually call this? It's called like 4 times and nothing does. So I think something's just setting this in the wrong order and I'm not totally sure what should be setting it. Scanners exist? Yeah, that's true. And honestly, even taking photos is probably sufficient at this point. I think we just need to clean out that filing cabinet. The filing cabinet also has like art stuff in it. And it doesn't fit because it's bigger than a normal size sheet of paper. It's a mess. Okay, so this is set in only a few different places. But when we call repeat battle is when I expect it to be set. And that's when we make... Wait a second, party in transit's supposed to set that, right? What? Something's wrong here. I thought... Oh, God. I thought this was set when they walk to... Yeah, here it is. Add party in transit. Is this not called by setting the repeat button? Let's try it out. All right, so hit repeat. This gets called 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this gets called. Yeah. So what's calling that? Something's wrong here. This is after we check the instance slot ID. And what's before we check it? Yeah, I don't care. Great, whatever. Don't care about that either. Love how that got moved to a different window entirely. Okay, so flee the battle. Now we press the repeat button. And it should break in. And what's calling this? I want to maximize. Man, it just takes forever sometimes. This is when we click repeat. Okay, let's look at it. So it's on adventure battle state changed, called from what? Entering battle somewhere? Walk to portal. So walk to portal is doing this. How can they walk to the portal unless they know that they're in a battle? Walk to portal. It's only natural that I find a board game in there at some point. Actually, I honestly think we might have one in there. We have a lot of things in there that shouldn't be there. All right. So this is called when we initialize the party in transit. I think this is when we should just pass in the instance slot and then we wouldn't have this issue. Oh, in fact, we do this right here. Yeah, this is dumb. Just passing the instance slot. Because I don't think we ever initialize this from anywhere else. No, we don't. Okay. So we take in an int instance slot ID. And then in here we set this. And we don't have this problem anymore, I hope. Well, so okay, so to explain this, because it does sound like I'm just making this up. For our wedding, we bought, yeah, I think we did this. We bought a Jenga set. Is that even the name of this game? That's the tower one, right? Yeah. We bought one of these and we left this at like the entrance and said, write a note for us on one of these blocks and then just put it in the bag. So I kind of consider this to be a board game. I guess it's not really, but I think that somehow ended up in our filing cabinet. Okay, so we're gonna see if this works now. Speed this up, flee the battle, hit repeat, turn on auto repeat. Hopefully that happened too fast because of the breakpoint. Nice. And does it work? It doesn't. When you turn it on through there, it works. When you turn it on after that's already on, it doesn't work. I wonder why. It's enabled, it just doesn't take effect. Strange. No, we got a filing cabinet for our wedding. That'd be very weird. Although I guess people do ask for certain things on their registry, like appliances or whatever, if they're going to move at the time that they get married. So it could be reasonable. It's just I wouldn't expect them to have it there in person. All right, auto repeat should be on here. And when you toggle this button, it's just not working. Toggle auto repeat. It invokes this, sets this here, toggled on enable, set it to toggled on. Huh. That should work. Is this getting called? Yeah. And it's set to true, right? Yeah. Huh. What's going on then when... Oh, I think I know what's happening. I think I know what's happening. It's making a walking to portal, and I think this thing knows whether auto battle is on. No, it's not making one of those. Making a party in transit. And this thing got initialized from somewhere and then had the on reach portal event. Reach portal. Sets it to nothing. Gotta be some other thing that listens for this, right? You can't listen for reached portal? Oh, because it's an event. Reached portal. There it is. Instant slot auto repeat. No, it should be somewhere else though, right? How about this? Let's just, when we finally get there, let's figure out what went wrong. Start battle. It should be this function. So we hit this. They eventually make it into the portal. Yep, we speed this up a little bit. Then as soon as they get in, it calls this function. Yeah. I don't know what started battle calls into. Nothing important, so just skip that. And then we call into this. And this should use the instance slots auto repeat. And it doesn't. What does this do? Create instance slot. Why is this even called? We don't need to create one. We already have one. Oh, it's just called create, but it doesn't actually create things all the time. All right, well, that's a misnomer. So now we get this. Auto repeat should be on. Is it? It is. So now why is it not working? I think I wanted to be in here. Something it with auto repeat. That's on. What's going on then? Did that get hit twice? Start battle is called. Hey Grim, I am doing well. I'm pretty happy with the progress so far. I'm trying to fix a very, very minor issue that actually, as far as I can tell, no one's complained about. So it's not really worth spending a bunch of time on, but we'll see. It hasn't been too long so far. I can't click any of these things. Okay, that's weird. What is going on right now? It thinks a key is held down. Is it my keyboard? No, must be my mouse. Let's unplug the mouse. Yep, that fixed it. Yeah, every once in a while his mouse just totally breaks. It thinks a key is held down or something. And it's because the mouse itself actually pretty much has a keyboard on the side of it. So, I forgot what I was doing though, unfortunately. I think we were just trying this and then this and then this. And that doesn't work. And how many times did start battle get called? 3 times. I think that's the problem. And I think I even know why this is happening too, maybe. Let me just try this one more time though and make sure that's actually what's going on. So we click repeat and then this. And it should get hit twice. It's going to take its sweet time because they walked away from the portal. It is doing something right. Yes, they're almost there. Made them walk very slowly. Yep, so that's a problem. So this is getting called twice. Start battle is getting called twice, which implies to me that we're setting up the listener twice. Yeah. Whoops. Try that again. Start battle call. What did it print? Started battle? I'm trying to find where I put that print. All right, let's find it through the diff, I suppose. Start battle is called, is what I said. All right, that is in town. Yesterday was coding and had a sandwich, but food got in the space bar and it wouldn't stop using space. Oh man, that's, I mean, kind of funny, but also kind of gross. Man. Yeah. So something is calling this multiple times. And there are 2 potential spots. On request repeat battle, which calls start battle, and what else? On party reached portal. Indeed. Okay, like I said, I think it's a listener problem, so I'm going to write this here. In on party reached portal, calling start battle. this is in on request repeat battle, and then this is here. Okay. So we got to figure out which one of these is being triggered multiple times. And I could just set breakpoints, but I think it's going to be easier. All right, do this, do this, do this, do this, and then that. And what did it say? Already reached portal. Yeah. Okay. We're getting there. This is not bad. Already reached portal. So we're calling this twice, which means we listened to this twice. Because we call walk to portal to start battle multiple times. That is why. Let's go find out what the cause for that is. So this calls it once. That makes sense. But then we call it again from here and it shouldn't. Yes. Why is that happening? Oh, because enabled auto repeat just does that. We should just check to see if we're already walking there or not. Yeah. If we're already walking to the portal, don't make this happen again. How do we know that you're walking to the portal? Because there will be a party in transit there. Yeah. Okay. So we get the instance slot. If instance slot dot party in transit, we don't have that. It's private. Is walking to portal, I guess. Then just return. And then just go make this property. There is no internal set. This is just a getter based on whether this thing exists. Party in transit, not equal to null. What? Did it just delete all of that? Huh. All right, I think we fixed it. So you can't walk to the portal twice. All right, let's try it out. We do our usual thing. We win the battle. We let them walk a little bit farther away. We click repeat and then auto battle. It should start one battle with auto battle enabled. Perfect. We win that battle and it goes into a new one. If we were to cut that out, it works. If we click auto repeat first, it works. And if we click auto repeat and then repeat, it works. What about if we do this, 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 this? Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's working. All right, great. Yep, this is good. This is good. This just needs a comment here. Both the repeat and auto repeat buttons may try to walk to the portal. So just don't let that happen multiple times. Yeah, don't need this. Don't need this. Don't need this. Or that. Okay. So just like before, we don't want to check in town. And we don't want to check in walking entity, but we want these three things and this. Oh, man. Okay, so allow enabling auto repeat after repeating battle. The scenario was this. Start a battle with the rogue. Then let the battle finish. Then click repeat before the rogue can make it to the portal again. Click enable auto repeat. At this point, so before this commit, the auto repeat button would have been disabled. Now it's enabled and works as you would expect. Yeah. All right. So there's just one last thing, and it's this. Try reusing the same position of the window we just closed. I don't think this will be very hard. And it's only in the case where we close a window when you had 3 open, which happens from here, I want to say. Max. This. Yeah. So we get the oldest slot, but we need to figure out which index that oldest slot is. And we have some carousel function somewhere, right? Yeah, and that can move these around. So how do we get the order that this is in? Let's put a thing here to get the old index. And then let's look at those carousel functions. It is move child. So there must be like a get index of child. Index, get index. Returns the node's order. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, so we call that from our to-do that we just added. Int index of child equals get index. Wait. What wasn't it called get index? Yeah, it is. And it, oh, wait, what? Oh, it's a node that you pass in. All right, so we just get it of the oldest instance slot. And then the new slot that we create, which I guess let's put this here. The new slot that we create needs to use that. So when we add the child, we'll check here if, should know what I want to do. Yeah, there, perfect. All right, and that's that. That should be the whole feature. Let's go try it out. I think this will be less confusing for players because they'll see a window close and they'll see a new one open on top of it. Game called Stretchmancer looks fun. Stretch wall floors to get around puzzles. Huh, yeah, interesting. Let me take a quick look. Is the ID not the same as the index? No, the ID is just an auto-incrementing thing. So it could be like 99999 or something like that. And then because we're replacing the oldest one, they might be in a different order. So it might be like instant slot 4 and then 7 and then 3. Yeah, that could happen, I think. So now let's try this out. We're going to start rogue, mage, warrior. And now the cleric should go into this slot when I start this. Yes. Now the witch doctor should go into the second slot. And now the archer should go into the third slot. Now, if I were to start a battle with the paladin, they'd go into the first slot again. But I'm actually going to start another battle with the cleric. And now they go into a new battle over here. That's a little bit weird, but I don't think that's worth fixing. Yeah, I don't think that's worth fixing. I don't know. I'm not convinced, despite saying that. If you, it's not worth fixing. I'm not going to spend the time. I don't think it's worth it. Let's look at this Stretchmancer thing. This looks like a very trippy game. Yeah. Cool idea, though. This reminds me a little bit of Portal, just in that like having a 3D world and puzzles to solve is a pretty standard setup for most games, but then having a very bizarre way of doing it is not standard. As opposed to something like Zelda, where it's like, okay, there are blocks and there are some rules, and you push some blocks around or you bomb a wall or something. Those are more like kind of traditional puzzles, I'd say. Okay, so now we can finally get rid of this and this. Reuse closed battle window position. When closing a window due to being at the, well, a battle window, due to being at the maximum number of windows, will now reuse the child ordering of the nodes so that it looks like the window itself got reused. We do not do this when you close a battle window due to adventurers being in battle. E.g., if the cleric is in window 1 and you try making a new battle with the cleric, they'll always start in a new window on the right. Just not worth addressing this. IMO. Cool. Reminds you of Superliminal. I think I've seen that game. Yeah, I played this game too. For whatever reason, I don't get motion sick when I play games. I think I got motion sick when I was playing this. Is this a game I'm thinking of? Yeah, I think so. I don't fully remember, but I remember feeling a little nauseated, and I think it was from this game. Like I said, that doesn't usually happen, which is why it stood out to me. So now this is done. And that means that this issue is now fixed. Sync and mark this as fixed. I guess I'll link the other commits to it. This also, I might as well just link the last one. Let's get it. And this fixed this issue. Man, it's been a bug in Espanso. I don't know if Espanso's even getting updates still. Like, mostly does what I want, but there are a couple of issues. All right, so that's done. Yeah. Why do I feel like there's something else I wanted to do for this? I don't know. Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm pretty happy with how this all ended up. Now, if you've got all these battles running and let's say they're auto battling and you're like, I just want to start a new battle somewhere and you click over here and you're like, I want this, this, and this, and then hit start, it just does it for you. Oh, wait a sec. Oh, they're still walking the portal. I'm like, that doesn't look right, but it's because they're all still slow. I didn't actually rerun the game. Oh, scared me. Yeah, I want to get done with some quicker tasks now, which probably means they won't be as important. Let's just try this one more time though. So we start some battles there and there and there. And yeah, they're walking at normal speeds of the portal. They should get in, start the battles, and I'm like, you know what? I want this, 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 and this. And yeah, it just works. Yeah, pretty cool. Okay, max size container may have changed the layout of the battle map. So that is, this looked weird possibly after changing the scale and then changing it back. Oh, that's peculiar, whatever I just did. Oh, because this isn't paused, so you can still activate these things in the background. Yes, this is the problem here. When you set it from scale 1 back to scale 2, it doesn't lay this out with a larger size. There's something that should do this here. Max panel size, not 1x. Wait a second. Is this being used correctly? You got the numbers mixed up? If the absolute value of scale minus 1 is less than this epsilon, then scale is 1. That should be correct. Max container size. If the scale is 1, set it to this. Otherwise, set it to the other one. What does it start as, I wonder? Oh, it doesn't start as anything? It's just whenever you update the UI size? Game scale control clicked. Okay, let's just break into this function and see what's going on. Because when I start, I'm in 2x. I'm going to quit the game completely. We're going to reopen this. It should... Oh, it doesn't get hit. Oh, so it's just whatever happens to be set in the editor first? Max size container. 1200 by 700 is what's up by default. Yeah, I see. Okay. So 1200 by 700 is what's set by default. And then if I were to change it, it would say that this is true. And then it would set it to 1200 by 700, which is pretty much what I want. And then if I make it bigger, it's going to set it to the smaller one, which is not what I want. Hey, Guinevere, have I tried cursor? No, I haven't. Hey, Ray Ray. It's Yosh. I'm a little confused by what this should be. Like, when should we use the smaller size? I think when your monitor, I think this all depends on what the window size is. So when we set this to something at a very large size, I might want it to be smaller. And maybe on Kevin's monitor, that works out to be good. But on mine, it doesn't. What's going on today? I've always got the today command. It's more demo development. Excuse me, demo development. I am getting ready for Next Fest. And that means that a lot of new players will play. So I want the existing content to be as polished as possible. The thing we just worked on, which took about 3 hours actually, was I'll show this off, but let me set this back to this normal size. You can always send adventurers into battle and you can choose where they're battling. But a lot of people would start battles by clicking the portal. And then these adventurers would already be in battle. And they'd be like, oh, I want to send these to a new location. And it used to disable the button. And now it's enabled and you can just click it and it'll start a new battle there. So if I want to send them back to the forest, let's say, then it just starts a new battle there. Is there a command to read what the game is about? Yeah. There's the Skell command. And then if you're curious about any other commands, there's a commands command. This kind of sucks because the sizes there do look better in my monitor. Yeah, so what I'm thinking is this. We probably don't actually want max size container, is my guess. I wonder if we should just always have this take up the full screen. Or, I don't know. Always take up pretty much the full screen. Yeah. Like what we do here, I think. We just set this to some size that takes up quite a lot so you can see more of the map panel. I think we'll need to do that. Yeah, I'll just file an issue for now. Consider removing max size container from the battle panel. The issue is, what is this code? Battle panel. The issue is with these sizes. On Kevin's monitor, these look good, but on my monitor, (1080) 4K monitor set to 1080p using high DPI and 2x game scaling. It looks like this. Maybe want to keep the size or change it based on something else. Yeah, I want to experiment with some stuff here. How many devs are there with you building this? It's I would say like 3. Yeah. Issues with these sizes. Comes monitor. These look good on my monitor. It's like this. Yeah, I wonder if we should ditch max size container and just have this take up most of the screen. So what I'm thinking is we just put this panel container here. Max size container has its own script, right? Yeah. But then it was also needed in here so that we could set things, max size container. So this won't exist anymore if we were to do this. And then we don't need this. We would delete this node. And then we make this take up pretty much just the whole parent. And then we now no longer have a margin container though. The margin container would have actually been at the parent of this, I believe. So we add in a margin container. By the way, for those wondering why is everything like pinkish, it's because I changed the theme color of Godot. We have this take up the full thing and then set a theme override here of like 50, 50, 50, 50. Maybe a little larger than that. I'm not sure. Let's just try running this. Okay, well, I guess we never counted on this being as large as it is. But we'll eventually have a larger instance map, but we could center this in the screen here. And yeah, now you can't click the background because I messed that up. The margin container should not have mouse input. Ignore. And now you can click the background. Yeah. And then if I were to resize the game window, this would just naturally shrink anyway, but only to a certain minimum size, which we already had this problem before anyway. There's got to be some minimum on this thing. Height-wise, I don't think it's got that same constraint, though. I think it can go pretty small. Yeah. And it is technically usable here, but it's barely usable. But that's not, I don't plan on supporting resolutions like this. But yeah, if you do, you can still use it. Yeah, so I wonder if this would be better if we just fix this issue. I guess we should try other scales and see what it looks like. Scale 1. Yeah, so it'd be huge that way. I mean, the other way we could do this is by setting the max size to, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'll just still make a container that reduces the margins and goes full size when the window is smaller. Yeah, I'll just write down some notes in this, I guess. If we swap out the max size container with a margin container and stop mouse or ignore mouse events on that new container, it would look like this. All right, so this is the 1x view of this. And yeah, that scrolling looks kind of weird. 1x, 2x. Note that the map, the instance map, that's what's called. Instance map would need to get positioned in the center of that panel. We were to do something like this. Maybe max size containers is fine to have. Yeah, maybe it is. And we just need different numbers. I don't know how we come up with those numbers. Maybe max size container is fine and we just need a better way of coming up with the numbers to use. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's Eclipse. Okay, bug. Loading from a save game that has already augmented the portal still shows the canyon tip. I don't even think this is true. I think something went wrong in the where I saw this. I was watching someone play this on YouTube and they ran into an issue. Another point is that we need to change them based on scale and something else. I don't know what. Yeah, I'm not sure what either yet. And I'm just kind of kicking the can down the road right now. All right, the way the tip system works is we keep track of which tips we've already seen. Where do we do that? There, shown tips. So the only way that a tip should be able to show up is if it didn't already show up at some point. If Oh God, that's why. Oh God. Okay, I messed this up. Whoops. So if we can't show the tip and it hasn't been shown and it's met the conditions to show it, then we show it. That's not correct. Yeah, that's not correct. So here's the bad code we had. And I know this will be saved in the commit, but I'm just going to write this here anyway. Bad code. What we want, and I'm going to write this out the dumb way, and then we'll see if there's a smarter way to write this. What we want is if we can't show the tip and it hasn't been shown and you've met the conditions to show it, and it turns out we actually can show it. If Wait, no, this wouldn't actually change anything. We can't show the tip. How did... No. Something else is wrong here. Hang on. Why was this bad? Can't show the tip, and it hasn't already shown. And we met the conditions to show it, then show it. No, I think this is correct. But it should have been marked as shown. Why wouldn't it have been? Yeah, it is the same. I'm realizing that I don't think the original code was bad. There are two ways that we might have shown this tip when we shouldn't have. One is that we actually should have, and I just didn't save it correctly. And I don't think that's what's happening here, but it might be. So let's start up the game. Let's go find my save file. Yeah, here. There. Shown tips. Currently nothing, but it's about to show something probably. Yeah, there. Okay, so it just showed a tip, and now we save the game. Now what happens? Does it go into here? Yes. It says that we showed tip number 4. Tip number 4 is hire adventurer. Hire adventurer is what this says, right? You have enough money to hire an adventurer? Yeah. So that's working. So when you beat the canyon... man, hey, Alexis. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to do this. All right, so we just beat the canyon. The tip is not showing because we still have this old one showing. So if I were to save the game right now, it's still just going to show that we... Wait, what? 1 shows up there? Augment portal. Oh, right, because it's not needed anymore. Huh, interesting. But still, if I save again, it's only going to show 4 and 1 there. Yeah. Now, if I dismiss this, then the canyon tip will show. Well, it says the town hall one first. Yeah, so I close that. Now we should eventually see the canyon one. Yeah, you defeated the ogre. So save and look at this thing, and it says 3 and 10. 10 is be first elite. That should never show up again. So why did this happen? Your character died? It's hardcore. You can't die. All right, so where is their video? Here it is. Let me skip. Ah, yes, that is what happened. Hang on 1 second. They had the tip about starting 3 battles at once, open for pretty much the entire game, right? Yeah, so they never saw the tip about the canyon. Okay, well that's been fixed. Yeah, so then that bug is not really a bug. Well, it's not a bug anymore. All right, well, we figured that out. Next up, for a short duration, for a short amount of time. I don't think this should show up in any skills because I think it's obvious. If we unlock all the adventurers, this is what I'm talking about. Here it says, can you see that? Yeah. When crush hits, the affected enemy has a chance to miss attacks for a short amount of time. Can I just delete the for a short amount of time here? Because it says duration in the bottom. And I think the answer is yes. And I think reducing verbosity here is important. So we're going to see what that looks like. So we remove it from crush, disorient, rage. What is this? Holy blessing, and that doesn't show up anywhere else. Yeah, let's try that out. R.I.P. Page's character. R.I.P. Maybe you can still find a way to make content on this anyway. Like, hey, I tried doing this run and I'm not good enough. And then you say a bunch of games that you're not good enough at. Let's try this out. Okay, so we're just going to hover over everything that has a duration. That's fine. Yeah. Okay, so rogue looks good. Mage looks good. Warrior. When crush misses, you gain a power bonus. Yeah, now it says duration. Affected enemy has a chance to miss attacks. Yep, duration. Didn't I modify something else here? Yeah, I did. Okay, anyway, everything's looking good. What about this stuff? Increase the duration. Yeah, sure, that's all good. All good. I know we only modified 3 of these. I'm not looking through all of these to try to find those 3. I'm looking through them to see if I missed any. And all we're doing is looking for the word duration there. Holy blessing reduces all damage taken. Yeah, this has a duration there now too. I think that's good. I think one of the issues we have. Ooh, why is it spaced like that? What's causing this to happen? What is doing that? What? Okay, well, that's a bug. Let's write that down. Oh, wait, let's just cut that out. Oh my God. Gotta press escape on that. Weird spacing. All right, what was I going to say before I encountered that? Oh, yeah, verbosity on skills. Something like this. It's a little bit verbose, and I don't know how we'd cut that down exactly. Strikes a single enemy with your shield for 50 damage. Like, we could get rid of the with your shield part. That's just flavor. Every time this is used, holy power infuses you. Again, we could delete the flavor there. Every time this is used, you gain damage reduction for the rest of the battle. Yeah, I think it's just too verbose. Strikes a single enemy for that much damage. Every time this ability is used, you gain that much. Okay. That'll be a lot less verbose. And then this one too, every time you take damage, generate a ray of holy light. When at 10 rays of light, you'll heal you and your allies for 63 health, prioritizing those closest to death. Okay, this is kind of all needed there. There's nothing really to cut down for that. Rest of this stuff is fine. It's mostly 2 lines. These ones are a little longer. Yeah, sure. Let's look at that in the game now too, and then we got to figure out that spacing issue. Or just reword to include briefly. Yeah, for the duration stuff, I think that could be done. I think what I want to see is, as I watch people play the game, is anyone like, oh, I didn't realize this was only work for 2 seconds, not forever. So I think just having the duration there will be fine. The other thing is, even if people's expectations are kind of broken here, they're not going to be paying such close attention that they'll realize it. Like, this ability could do literally nothing, and you could put 2 points into it, and no one will probably ever be able to tell. There are ways to notice that. You could be paying attention to the damage they do, but no one's actually looked that closely. So I don't think it's probably going to matter to most people. All right, we reworded this ability. Strikes a single enemy for 50 damage. Every time this ability is used, you gain 0.5% damage reduction for the rest of the battle, up to a maximum of 10. Yeah, cool. I'm happy with that. All right, so it's just reword some skills to reduce verbosity. And that's it. Reword some skills to reduce verbosity. All right, next up. What in the world's going on with this spacing? So, highlight row, where is that? Where is it? There should be something like BB code. Yeah, there it is. Format, table, and then what's this called? Improve holy link. Which reduces, here it is. All right, so form skill table. So what we're going to do is we're going to print this out so that I can paste it into a table on its own and figure out why the spacing ended up being that way. I wonder if it's the word wrap property or if I need to do something else. So I hover over one of these things. It should have already printed. It didn't. Where is it? Blesses each eye. This one. There we go. Oh, wait. I need that too, don't I? Yeah. Okay, so new scene. Add in a rich text label. Give this the BB code that we had there. Fit content. Make this bigger. Wait, that's not right. This isn't even the right thing. What am I doing? Oh man, that text just exists in both of these. Ugh. Yeah, whoops. I'm supposed to be in here. There we go. Damage transferred. I wonder if we can make columns larger or something. I don't know. That's what we're going to look into though. There. All right, so it's not a problem here yet, but we haven't given it the same font and the same font size and the same width. And who knows what any of those are supposed to be. Skeleseller. Is there a font or is there a width where this will happen? Ah, there it goes. So it looks like it's the spacing here. Word smart. What if we said it's a word? Wow, word smart is smarter than word smart. No, wait, word is smarter than word smart. What does word smart do? Behaves similarly to word, but force breaks a word if that single word does not fit in one line. I don't think we want that. Yeah, I don't think we want that. But won't this mean that if this is too small, it's just gonna like arbitrarily. Well, if it's too small, we have a problem, I guess. So yeah, I think we just set this to word. Words that are being snobby. Those are smart words, not word smarts. Okay, so how can we change this? Because this is just a tooltip, and we probably want most tooltips to use. Oh wait, won't this also cause the? I am confused. Yeah, I am confused. But I think we need to modify this one. I see the thing happening on your Mac too after doing Command Tab. Sometimes the cursor won't change when you hover over text in VS Code. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about, Gluska, but it probably is happening. For what it's worth, I don't tend to use Command Tab a lot. I tend to just switch directly to a window using something like Alt 5, which will go to my what am I doing? Why did I forget all my shortcuts as soon as I said that? Yeah, there. Yeah, I switch between things typically like this, as opposed to Command Tab, which would look like this. Whoops. All right, so I just want this set, wherever this thing is called. Where are these things called from? Get ability description comes from here. Get tooltip. Get tooltip is called from skill tree. So there's tooltip set text. I want this to also set the word wrap option on that text. Does set text take any other arguments? No. Let's just have it taking the word wrap stuff. Use a /n instead of a space. I don't think that's a good idea for when we localize this. Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. Although we could. Okay, here's an idea. This is kind of bad. But for any tables that we have like this, we could dynamically change all the spaces to be new lines in the column headers. So here we have the headers. And where do we use them? Here. But it'd have to be in the headers only. Word smartest. Yes. I don't think that's a good idea though. I think we should just change it to, yeah, I think we should just change it to specify the word wrapping style. What's the name of that? It's called auto wrap mode. Auto wrap text server auto wrap mode. Auto wrap mode. It's going to be word smart by default. And then we're going to do label.auto wrap mode. Yeah, there we go. So now the only thing that should change this, I guess, is this. This should use it to word. Oh, this is just so stupid. This is so stupid. What's the difference again? I don't remember. Force breaks a word if that single word does not fit in one line. I don't think we're ever going to see a difference in this, right? So this is skill tree. Is this like the base of the skill tree, or is there some other skill tree that we have? Town perks. What does town perks inherit from? Player ability tree? No, it's separate. What I miss? What's stupid? What's stupid is we have two word wrap modes that are potentially good. There's word and there's word smart. And the problem is word smart is causing this empty space to show up here. So we need to change this. But by changing it here, we're going to actually change the whole tooltip, which means we might modify how this text shows up. But I don't think it's going to actually create any difference. Right now it works as expected. Your cursor turns into a pillar. Its state is default. I see. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we could just change it for all tooltips. Maybe that's fine. Why the space though? I mean, the space is because there's naturally a space between the words damage and transferred. Otherwise, it would look like DAMAGETRA. Like there'd be no space between it. The blank space in the middle, this empty space, is what I'm talking about. This is caused by the word wrapping mode, which is why I said this thing is stupid. Yeah. So I think the only real question here is, do we use word on all tooltips or just the skill ones? And yeah, let's just set it to all of them. Really, if we see a problem with that, then we can modify this. But yeah, so we can get rid of this from here, and this, and whatever I just called that from skill tree. Yeah, this. Goodbye. So now we should have no code changes, right? Yeah, other than my debug stuff that I had here, which we can delete now. All right, so we're back to square one. Now we just go into tooltip and change it. Label word. Donezo. Let's try it out. Have you tried making the column slightly wider? I could, but I need to know to make that wider, and that's only in English that I would know. So there might be some German translation where like the word fire turns into some like 40-letter word, and I just wouldn't know to even change it then. What is the German word for fire? Let's find out. Fire, German. It's got one extra letter, but German also capitalizes nouns, right? So the F is also wider. So the whole word is wider. Feieraka. German is the basis of all Final Fantasy spells. Yeah, so anyway, now if we go back to that thing, it should just be fixed automatically. Yeah, it's fixed. And if we just look around at any other skills or any tooltips, I don't really see any. I don't see any differences. Also, it'd be pretty much impossible to know that there's a difference because maybe a word would appear on another line or something, and I don't think that's ever going to happen. What about Chinese? Wouldn't be able to read it. All right, so fix weird spacing in tooltip. I only did this because the words damage transferred render like damage /n/n transferred, i.e. with 2 new lines when I only want 1. However, I did this by changing the word wrap mode for all tooltips. I don't think it's going to cause any noticeable difference. But if it does, then we can change the word wrap mode on a per tooltip basis. Yeah. Okay. Is the hand cursor appearing over tooltip by design? The hand, if you're talking about like it gains a glove here, that's when you're hovering over a button. So that's by design. You can't actually hover over the tooltips because when you move the mouse off of the control, the tooltip goes away. And that same thing happens for any clickable thing. So like this. And then when you drag the camera, it turns into, instead of pointing, it pinches. So now it's a grab cursor. Same thing with items. All right, that's done. File tasks use other skeletons. We already did that. Add sounds to hovering over pretty much anything with an outline on hover. Oh no, I mean text is obscured by the large cursor. Oh, that's a problem with my operating system cursor. Like almost everything has this problem. If I hover over this in Google, for example, Google Docs, you see how the cursor's covering the tooltip? Just no program really accounts for that. And that's because I have my cursor set to like triple the size of a regular cursor. So yeah, that's going to happen everywhere. We just have to ignore that. It does make it really obnoxious when I'm looking at an icon. I'm like, what does this thing do? And I try hovering over it and it says, but it just says open C something, 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 something. And it's like, now I have to move the cursor, but you can't really move it that well. So yeah, that's just something we have to deal with. That's also why this cursor looks a little bit blurry. Like, you see how it's kind of fuzzy a little bit? I don't think that's a problem with the game or the graphic at all. I think it's just a problem with resizing the cursor. I imagine this is something like nobody tests with. Just unless you naturally use that option yourself, you're probably not going to care about it. And even if you do care about it, like, what are you going to do to fix it? I mean, are you going to offset everything by your OS cursor amount? Do you have it like that all the time? Yeah, all the time. I would have probably made it even bigger, but people seem to get very annoyed by that. All right, this stuff isn't too important. This isn't too important. Yeah. This is probably pretty important. What else? This might be a quick win. Quick win. Scripted test and exported build. This is another kind of quick win sort of thing. Maybe code the thing that lets people start a battle when the adventurers are busy. When that's done, maybe disable close while auto battle is on. Maybe we should only close if auto battle is off. Yeah, we should probably just figure this out right now. So you start a battle, you've got auto battle on, and you win the battle. No, take a picture. No, I have it too fast. Hang on a second. Let me try that again. All right, there. Yeah, so auto battle has this little progress bar. Okay, it takes 3 seconds, whatever. All that's working fine. During that time, a lot of people end up just clicking close because it's a button that they can click and they just, for whatever reason, want to click it. And the question is, should we disable this when auto battle is on? And I actually think the answer is no. One thing I did is I made this highlight red now when you hover over it. So maybe that's a little bit clearer that it's a destructive action. But yeah, we could disable that. You could make it not interpolate. I'm not actually sure if we can control that in Godot. Cursors have a lot of limits on them and how they work. But maybe it is possible. Either way, it would be an arbitrary scaling, so it might end up doubling some pixels anyway. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do this. Only show close if auto battle's off. Yeah, I think I'm going to delete that. It makes the whole party hovering clickable. These are like minor polish things. Minor polish to make editing a party easier. I actually think it doesn't, I'm not even going to ever do that thing about hovering over the whole party. I don't think that's necessary anymore. Because now we have this little pencil button, and I hope people see this and use it. I mean, there are only 3 icons here. You could make a recording stop icon instead. For what? Oh, yeah. Hiding the cursor. Plus then I guess your OS cursor size doesn't factor into it. When we remove the map dragging from left click, I feel it's annoying when you misclick stuff and it happens way too often if you decide to be more active. We already have middle click for that. I actually never thought of removing it. How would someone without a middle click drag the map then? They wouldn't be able to, I guess. I guess I could pan by doing this. I mean, we could have an option for it. Something like turn off left click to drag. Yeah, I mean, right click could be overloaded to do that, but that one, then dropping items would probably be harder. No, wait, no, then you couldn't drag the camera and then drop an item because right click drops the item. I think we could just add an option for that. But I haven't heard people complain about that. I've heard people complain about the drop zones being tiny, and that I think we should fix by just making the drop zone be the entire building, which I probably should also focus on at some point. Maybe we should do that drop zone stuff. Drop zone logic. Yeah, I think, like I said, Dark, I think we can add an option for it. I just don't know if it should be on by default that we disable left click. Like, I don't think people are, I think normal, like casual users are not used to middle clicking to do anything. Even the stuff that's, quote unquote obvious, like middle click to open a tab or middle click to close a tab. I think a lot of people do not interact with their scroll wheel beyond scrolling. So I think for those people, it's like, oh, okay, this naturally moves the camera. And then if you're like, oh, I find myself grabbing items, maybe you'll look for an option. I'll file an issue on that. Add an option to disable left click dragging the camera. Let me just copy all this stuff. This and this. Delete. Delete. I should probably edit this and just say, I don't like the idea of disabling left click for dragging by default. But I don't mind if we have an option for it. I'd be curious how many people would use this option. Oh, especially once we have the drop zone stuff. Where's the drop zone stuff? That's not it. Here. Especially with, what, 577? Is in. Yeah, note that the option should tell you about all of the other ways you can pan the camera. WASD, move the mouse to the edge of the screen, or hold middle click. I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else you can do. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, eventually maybe the trackpad controls. Yeah. What arrows? Yeah. Sorry, I consider WSD and the arrows to pretty much be the same, but yes, that's true. They're both mapped to the same underlying action in Godot itself. Okay, drop zone logic. I think we should probably do that. Oh, hey, this is done now, right? End battle screen. Being truncated when there's a lot of loot. I don't think this happens anymore. But let's test this out. So we get everything in the game, we turn on everything in the game, and then we go to the final area with all of the characters and win that battle. I like seeing their items fly out of them. Nice. Now win. And then turn on auto battle and get ready to take a picture. Oh wait, we can't take a picture. We gotta have it finish the battle, I guess. Come on. Okay. This should be fixed ever since. And the ever since we gotta go fetch. Where is it? Use icons for battle screens. Is this even the change? I don't remember. We could just search for party member, I guess. Ugh. I don't like doing this stuff. What did we change? I don't even know. It probably wasn't that. Did we change? Party member base? That's all on by default. Oh, we added a battle party member. I remember now. Okay, yeah, battle party member. We just got to figure out what commit that came about in. This one. Now we can put that in our ever since. Yeah, looking good. Oh, combined with 706. Yeah. Close. Done, 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 done. Fix a drop zone issue, town perks legibility. Brainstorm what I could do about the Twitch front page. Oh, this is something we could probably just do right now. So Twitch has a form where you can apply to be on the front page. And actually, let me just pull up that form. I probably can't show it on stream. Hang on a second. Engage privacy mode. Let me find out where this thing is. Here it is. This link. Visit. All right, I'm going to put this off screen so no one can see it. All right, so what is their wording here? This. We encourage you to submit requests for new, exciting streams outside of your regular broadcasted content that might appeal to a broad audience of viewers, including collaborations and game challenges. So I think I applied for February. I didn't get a slot. So now I want to apply for March. They don't tell you why they rejected you. But I wonder if it was they're just like, oh, not a dev stream. We're not going to have that on our front page. So, like, what would I do to promote Skeleseller for a front page Twitch slot? And I don't think it's just play the game, but that is part of it. Like, what else could we do? And it's because development streams aren't exciting. Music. I don't think it'd be appealing for new viewers, and if it is, I think they would assume that it's always a music stream. Maybe, you know what I might do? I might just apply again and just have it be a development stream. They might not be rejecting it because it was a development stream. They don't actually say why. Get skeletons to redeem stuff. Like Google Play cards. Host a speedrun competition. Speedrunning could work. I just don't know how interesting that would be for me. The slots are up to 8 hours. And I could see myself having fun for like 1 to 2 hours. But probably not beyond that. And I could just suck it up and still figure out a way to do this for whatever, 4 hours maybe, but I don't think I could go much longer than that. Even one time, a very long time ago, I played Super Mario 64 on stream, and after like 4 hours of that, I was just like, I want this to be done. I don't want to play this game anymore. I can get sub 20 now. Wow. Yeah, I mean, the way speedrunning typically works is your first run sucks, and then you very, very rapidly cut off a bunch of time, and then you hit diminishing returns. So maybe my first run is whatever, 40 minutes, and then maybe it goes down to like 30, and then maybe it goes down to 25. And that would have taken, what, about 2 hours. So it's still not a ton of time. Bug hunting, trying to find as many bugs as possible. Have chat input on what to try. Custom games or party where chat votes on what combo versus what battle. I think bug hunting could be kind of interesting. I think the speedrunning is not bad either. I think speedrunning, bug hunting, maybe game design stuff. Talk about new systems. When are we adding crowd control? I don't think it'd be a bad idea, but I don't think it'd be a high priority. Yeah, all right. Well, these are the only ideas I have. I think that anytime I'm showing the game, I think it would probably encourage people to click and to be like, what game is that? That looks interesting. So the more I show the game, the better. The more I show the game, the better. Should probably just always have it open on screen during that time. All right, I'm gonna apply to this tomorrow then, and I'll write some ideas down. This is the issue with not being told why you were rejected. It could be because just 12 people wanted my time slot, and they're like, "Oh yeah, let's go with one of those other streamers," and so I could just apply the exact same way and get it for the next time. The bad thing is that oh wait, I cannot open that on stream. Okay, let's not do that. Let's open a calendar I actually can open on screen. Next Fest goes from the 24th to the 3rd. And they said that the weekends are very popular times to request front page slots. So the problem is it ends at 10 a.m. on the 3rd. So I pretty much have to request a front page slot on the 1st or the 2nd if I want Next Fest to be benefited by that. And I think the 1st is probably the best day. But if I get rejected, then it's like, well, now I got to wait an extra month. I guess it's fine. Front page slot on Twitch. Apply for it. March 1st is best so that it can still help during Next Fest. Barring that, any time afterward is fine. So if I get rejected, just pick any day in April. Okay, well then that's done. What else? What else? What else? This can be done tomorrow too. I'd like to get back to addressing issues that unpack Next Fest, UI scale. Oh yeah, I thought of an idea for UI scale. Well, I didn't really think of one. It was a pretty obvious idea, but we should probably turn this into just a continuous slider. Game scale right now is either 1, 2, or 3, and a lot of people are saying that they want something in between. So if we just made it a slider like this, and the only reason we weren't doing that is because this is pixel art, and that means that some pixels might get doubled. But it's an accessibility feature, and I think it's a good thing to have. So I think we should just do it. So I will probably do that too. So I think we have the rest of today's work kind of cut out for us. So drop zone logic, I think that's pretty important. Then maybe UI scale. And then the skeletons not prioritizing items in the way that people expect. Have a tactile slider. You mean the ones with like a 1 has a circle on it and 2 has a circle and 3 has a circle, but you can go anywhere in between? Because yeah, I think something like that could work. I do wonder how many people will want exactly like 2x. Even me, I wonder, I didn't test this, but I don't know what the ideal setting for me is. Like this is good. I don't dislike this. Maybe I'd want it to be a little larger. Maybe I want to, I don't know. Yeah, I have to figure it out. Textures look weird with a 1.668 scale. Yeah, it could be. And if they do say that, then I could maybe add a warning around it or something. So drop zone logic, where did that go? Here. And then workers here, I guess. Yeah. Worker behavior. The potion shop to not be the most. We also probably don't want skeletons grabbing or workers grabbing items they can't do anything with. E.g. the potion shop is full, but the armor shop is empty and they grab a potion anyway. Yeah, I don't know though. I don't think anything we do here is going to make everybody happy. Because some people say that they want to be able to direct their skeletons, and I don't like that idea. And there's no coordination between skeletons, and I don't know if there should be. Let's say you had 50 workers, and you had 50 potions in here. 50 workers might grab 50 of those potions, but there are only 10 slots. So now 40 of them have no place to put it. Should they drop it on the ground? Should they bring it back to the warehouse? Should they just wait there for a space to be available? And I don't know. And different people will say different things. Like, yes, I'd like to have them wait so that I can just refill these immediately. I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's best, but we should think about that. So this, and then yeah, some other minor stuff. I don't think we'll have time for anything beyond probably the first like. Well, actually, maybe we'll have time for all these. Hang around the shop seems sensible, or idle for longer when that happens. When you say idle for longer, what do you mean? Actually, we'd have them do multiple things. I think waiting at the shop is good, but then should they, after some amount of time, should they have some sort of fail safe that makes them just go drop the item again? Yeah, yeah, maybe. Maybe if too many workers are waiting with a particular item type and there's another item available, the workers can go drop their held item back in the warehouse and pick up another. This can cause all kinds of scheduling issues. E.g., there's only one other item to pick up, but there are 5 workers all going for it. So they drop off their held items only to wander around, have it idle, then move to another spot in the shop, then idle and move. Yeah. Yeah, they could just drop stuff too. Is this misaligned? Is what misaligned? I see a red line, and I'm guessing that's what you're talking about, but I'm not sure what you mean exactly. Okay, drop zone logic. Also, what time is it? Oh, it's noon. Okay, we'll probably take a lunch break before we do this, but this issue, it's straightforward enough to describe. It might not be straightforward to code, but right now you have to drag a potion onto a potion item display. So like if you drag it here and you just barely miss, it doesn't do anything. But what people want is for you to be able to drag anywhere within this stone area. So I could click here and it would still drop it onto one of these displays. Same thing with over here. I should just be able to drop it onto pretty much anywhere in this general vicinity. Like I put it here and it'll put it in one of the slots. It should probably put it in the slot closest to the cursor if we do that. Maybe try to put the item in the closest available slot. Maybe even animate it going there. Yeah. Yeah, it would speed things up. I think it would just prevent accidental clicks quite a lot. And then same thing over here too. Like, hey, we need a blue potion, right? So we have a blue potion here. Yeah. Right now you have to click this tiny area. And if you're zoomed out, it's even smaller. But if you have to click anywhere in this area, then that's pretty easy to hit even if you're fully zoomed out. And if you're zoomed in, it's incredibly easy to hit. It takes up like half the screen. So yeah, that's I think what we'll do after lunch. And then if there's extra time, I think the UI scale thing, I'll at least maybe test that out. The worker behavior thing, that'll probably be harder to do. But yeah, this is what the next 2 weeks is probably going to look like. And we'll probably take a little detour for music at some point. In fact, if there's not enough time, maybe we'll work on that today. If there's not enough time, maybe work on music. Yeah. Because I'd like to get this track in the game by next fest. Right now we only have 2 music tracks in the town, and this would be the third one. And I like it. Okay, so I'll go take my lunch break. It is 12:03. I'll try to be back around maybe like, I don't know, 12:45 p.m. And then we'll work for whatever, 2 to 3 hours. So thank you all for watching. If you haven't wishlisted the game, please do check it out. And that's it for today. Well, for now. Sorry, not for today. I'll be back in 45-ish minutes, and it'll just be business as usual. We're not going to do anything too different. So hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching so far. See you later.